Trouble. Watch out. Watch you wicked them all. Say the wicked them all. Let go now. Hey. Watch you wicked them all. Say the wicked them all. Let go now. Just catch it on the balance wheel. 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 Jesus, are you balance? Trouble. Watch out. Watch you wicked them all. Say the wicked them all. Let go now. Hey. Watch you wicked them all. Say the wicked them all. Let go now. Just catch it on the balance wheel. 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 Jesus, are you balance?
morning, afternoon, good night, wherever you are in your neck of woods. Once again, right, we say thanks to pass through Mystic Sensation and make it another wonderful live stream for Mystic Sensation. Before we go to chat, I am happy for the privilege that we will have in studio this morning, right? Kay Osborne, right? She'll be coming on in the next half an hour, right? And we are going to have some solid interactions, right? So that is where that is concerned in terms of my guest, all right? And of course, we are going to, you know, do some deep dive within the TCN situation. Of course, before I start, and remember on Friday you fly solo with Mystic Sensation, right? And I always looking forward, right, for this afternoon show. All right, this week is quite an exciting one. But let me just begin. Beverly 975, big up yourself, sister Beverly. Paul Wilson, yes, Paul Wilson. As I said, I love the interaction that you have taken. Right, reading through your comments prior to my start, and almost forgot the forgot the time too. Right, so bless myself, Paul Wilson. Really love that. Right, we have Leighton Brown, big up yourself, Leighton. Althea Sterling, Anne Marie McDonald, Patel Krushank, Damian Gus, Derek Mackay. You know, one of the things that I must mention before I can go further in the name is that each time when you go through the chat room and you see, right, the usual people just, you know, with their commitment, their loyalty, believe you me, trust me, I love them so much. I love them so much. Judith Ebert, Merinda Ruddock, right? Jennifer Bless, Rosalie Ricketts. I hope that I don't spoil anyone's name this morning, you know, because people don't like when the names spoil. All right. I call Leighton already. Carl Allen, Judith Ebert, right? And okay, Millicent 1647, Leonie Denton, bless up yourself, right? Lyndon Green, bless up yourself. All right, and did her Ebert, bless up yourself. Did I call her? Right. Okay, Minerva 49ish, Millicent, Star Girl, right? Beverly Stewart, Don Morris, right? Joan Allen, and believe you me, the chat is getting out of hand as we speak. All right. Georgia Lynch. So let me just do an umbrella welcome, right, to all the persons who are tuning in and those who are in the lobby. We are saying welcome to the Mystic Sensation once again. And remember, today we are in the mode of, you know, multitasking. So we do everything. You know, people are going to call while we are doing all of that. You know, we, as we say, we ride and whistle as it relates to that phrase. So we do everything all at once, right? All right. So once again, bless up yourself, right? And of course, Unique Ray, the last person to check into the lobby, right? We have what? Claudette Edwards, Elga Fletcher, you know, all right, and Clifton, all right. People are tuning in. I'm happy. Now, Jamaica, let me just quickly run through two of the, you know, the topics before we have Kay Osborne come into the studio. All right, Jamaica, we have seen that the Jamaica Labour Party, right, particularly Andrew Holness, right, level of orchestration, right, on display, on full display, right, the man behind everything in terms of trying to campaign against the Integrity Commission, right? And this is one of the reasons why Andrew Holness makes sure that he, you know, put certain people in place to do his evil deeds, right? To do his satanic work. And we are seeing it on full display. We have seen Matthew Samuda, right? Delivering his madness. We are going to deal with that, right? But the general thing now that the Andrew Holness administration is on is not anything about nation building, Jamaica people. Nothing about nation building. They want to get away, right, as it relates to the massive robbery. Conrad O'Brien, the fireman, big up yourself, right? Blessings, blessings, right? Now, let me tell you something. Andrew Holness, right, and those who are under the Integrity Commission surveillance, right, want to do everything to escape judgment. And when you have a likes like a Conrad O'Brien, right, a likes like a Mystic Sensation, a Wayne Lonesome, right, Andre Stevenson, right, we are going to hold them accountable. We are going to hold them accountable. All right, here is it. We have Sister Winnie calling right then and there, you know. Okay, let me, oh Jesus. What happened, Sister Winnie? Seems like if the thing just Sister Winnie, you hung up, so right, call back Sister Winnie. Right then and there. Right? So this is the situation. Right? We have to hold them accountable. Okay, Sister Winnie is calling. All right, let me just have Sister Winnie speak to us. Sister Winnie, yes, go ahead. You're on air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mystic,
Bless
and your wife and everyone that's going to come on.
Blessing
Now
yourself.
listen to me.
Yes.
Half pint is only doing what Andrew tell him to do.
Exactly.
You understand? And that can never happen. Never. How dare we would put the Prime Minister's friend? This man is crazy.
More than crazy.
I would like to ask him, he could do that in the United Kingdom even if he was in Parliament?
Exactly.
He could have been in Parliament over here because Andrew like criminal like him. You understand? So anyone is a criminal is Andrew's friend.
Mm-hmm.
How can you go and try to destroy something that is good for the country?
Can you imagine?
And they should when is the next sitting?
I am not sure. I don't want to just answer you off the bat like that. I prefer to seek the information and then I can tell you, Sister Winnie. So I will be doing that.
Because I know yes, but in the next sitting they should read the IC report because they're going to dilly-dally until they don't read it. Yeah.
Yes.
And they're going to delete, and there is a disgrace. How can Andrew right now? He do not know where to turn left, right, or center because he's got the Chinese that are off of Jamaica. Sooner or later, we won't have a Jamaican flag.
Exactly.
We have American, Chinese, and Israel flag, all three together. Yeah? Yes. We lost our dignity with Andrew. Andrew is not a very nice person. He's wicked. He's a snake in the grass you cannot see. And when he comes out, he strikes. You understand? And he and his wife are two are together. Don't worry about they're not winning. She's the one who tell it to me. She's the one who telling him what to do. Because he's scared of her like this. Yeah? So all I can say, Jamaican people got to go back out and strike. And this time it's a bigger strike, a bigger march than the one that we have.
Well, Sister Winnie, hold on, Sister Winnie. We'll be talking to the right person in the next 16 minutes, which would be Kay Osborne, who organized the first march. So she will be here in studio with us. So we will also put that question to her as well.
And if she's going to have one, I would donate 6 cases of water. Okay?
Yes. Thank you so much, Sister Winnie. Love that. All right. Okay. All right. Let us quickly get put out these two information before Sister Osborne get into studio here. All right. Okay. Just take one more. Okay. I'm taking one more call and then because I have to run through the program before Sister Osborne coming through. Yes, Carla. Let me just give you 2 minutes to speak to us quickly. Yes.
I just want to say this very loud and clear, Brother Brian.
Yes.
You know,
talk to us.
And to honest, I call you. I call you up. I say, God, I'm going to judge you. I said, judgment shall take you and your generation. And your generation and your generation them after. How can the man take the little gift for Jamaica and give it to Venezuela? Come on, no, Brother Brian. This is wickedness at the highest level.
Oh, yes.
People in our country are sleep and ground. And you want to take gifts and down and give Venezuela. But we know why. Listen, God, I'm going to judge you and your owners. God, I'm going to judge you. And I curse you. I curse you in the name of Jesus Christ. The blood of Jesus against you. And your generation. And your children and children. I curse you and your owners. You wicked to the people.
Mighty God. Well, I'm not tell you.
Mighty God. Mr. Kelly, I want to show you that.
Blessings, my brother. You know, I can feel a pain. Let me say I can feel a pain. Right? Really can feel a pain.
This is wickedness, man.
All right, Carla. All right, take it easy, my brother. I feel a pain. Trust me, I feel a pain. I can hear and feel the vibration, you know, of your emotions. Right? Yeah. But, you know, God is on our side, and trust me, right? He's going to deliver the blessings to us. That's all I have to say. Thank you, my brethren. Big up yourself.
Yes, my right. Take care.
Cool. Now, these are some of the things that really, right, jerk me, right? Because you can hear the emotion in the man's voice. Okay, let me just take this one caller before I don't even start the program, you know. Yes, caller, you're a Mystic Sensation. How are you doing, my dear?
First time calling, but you know, I always watch and everything.
Thank you, really appreciate it. Yes.
I want a prime minister you do to a country.
Well,
I want really I do. I want to be understand what I do to Jamaican people. I want to understand what's going on in Jamaica with the people then.
He knows that what he's doing is throwing poison on us. Remember, he told us, you know, in 2015, but you understand he was just doing it under the DISCAIMER way to say that don't vote for the PNP because the PNP will throw poison on you. He was describing himself, he was identifying himself, and that is exactly what he's doing, throwing poison on us.
But the thing is this, you know, what we not understand. Him coming at power. When me older than Andrew, when me born 70, me older than him.
Yes.
And me sure know say Andrew mother benefit and Mandley going to school, all of them something them finger school. Exactly,
you're right. You're 100% right, because she should have been benefited from the free education that as a result of Michael Manley's policy. So you're perfectly right.
When the Cuban they do for Jamaica, our mother inherit over it too.
So true. So true. My goodness.
Him father inherit over it with him, even two papa. Them inherit over Mandley.
And that's not true. That's
coming
true.
On. Someone want to understand. When we can't understand, him have a mother. Get me? Listen up to me now, Mystic. Him have a mother. Can him mother tell him say I do something wrong to your country?
Well, you see, the love for money becomes the root of all evil. And because
something, you know.
Yes, my sister, go ahead.
Money have the root of evil. I just tell one of my friends saying, I say money don't make people happy, they make them just miserable.
And you're right with that. You're so correct with that.
But there is something coming up in my spirit when I pray this morning, you know.
Talk to him about it.
I'm going to say to him myself, Mr. Only, listen to me. I don't care if you take my name. Listen, the Spirit of God tells me, if you take back your foot, who's about the maroon, then you're going to come out dead.
What a warning. What a warning.
I warn you. If you go back on the maroon side, Mr. Prime Minister, you're not going to come back out alive, me. I warn you. The Spirit of God showed it to me when I'm praying this morning.
All right, so, and let me tell them, let me make it clear. All right.
Yeah, gonna be something gonna happen.
Let us make that clear. The lady is not threatening, right, the Prime Minister. The lady is only telling us. The lady just telling us her dream, her vision, right? So please, right, don't try to misconstrue what she's saying, right? Okay, all right, my sister.
I'm not showing you what God's showing you. I don't know if you've seen it.
Exactly.
But be careful, sir.
Right, that's why I have to set it straight.
Nobody threatening you.
Exactly.
What is the power of God?
Right, she's
You're
just
doing wrong to Jamaican people.
Yes.
Wake up, Mr. Prime Minister.
All right.
It's wrong, and your wife know it's wrong, but you know what? You guys will see Jamaica. Jamaica blessed.
Blessings, my
Jamaica
sister.
land we love.
Love you, my sister.
Big up yourself and your wife and melting pot.
Aye. All right, melting pot. Big up yourself anyway there. Blessings.
Big up on yourself in the name of Jesus.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you for calling.
Bless up yourself.
All right.
Bless up.
Blessings. You understand? Those are the calls that really keep us engaged. But let us just quickly run through the program. I seize all calls for now because you know we have to take on the program. And we have what, 9 minutes before Miss Osborne take the floor. So let me just quickly run through these two situations we have to put out there, right? All right, okay. I don't know, so I like to play me something song, you know. Right, remember rinse out my song first, people. Remember rinse out my song first, please. Cause you know me love this. Remember rinse.
Just 10 long years and look how Jamaica stay. No light, no road, no food, pan we plate. People are suffer, while Andrew live great. You stand up on the platform, smile wide and proud. I tell we about prosperity, but we can't see it all now. Hurricane come through, and left the people here. 6 months later, them still out there, asleep under the air. Their JLP friends, them build high rise, road still full of wood. A whose pocket you a fill, while the nation lose its soul. Hospital overflow, picnic can't get bed. School roof a leak, but you and Juliet well fed. You always have excuse, always pass the blame. Every time something wrong, it never go in your name. Jamaica a drown and you claim you're unclean. Biggest actor in the politics we ever see. Boldness, time to go. Time to go. The people, we say no. 10 years and we can't take no more, you know, hear us. We are not on the door. Boldness, time to go. Time to go. From Kingston to Negril, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Boldness and time to go. Farmer can't afford to plant, food price reach the sky. You bring in the poverty while your own people cry. We born ya, we grow ya, we bleed for this land. But Andrew at the top won't extend the man. You talk about vision, you talk about plan. But 10 years later, we still can't understand. Corruption report land and nobody charge. The people pocket small, but the scandal them large. Who's crack up parish council, bro? Country suffocate done and it just more. And when we raise the voice, you call we political. But the truth is the truth and the truth is biblical. Boldness, time to go. Time to go. The people, listen up. We say no. 10 years and we can't take no more, you know, hear us. We are not on the door. Boldness, time to go. Time to go. From Kingston to Negril, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Boldness, our time to go. We know our no hype, we know our no speech. We want action, no.
All right, there you have it. Right, let me stop from share this and quickly run through our program. Right, anticipating the arrival of none other than our fabulous lady that will join us in studio, none other than K. Osborne, right, social activist, right, for human rights, right. She will join us later in studio within the next 5. So let us get into the program and, you know, put certain things out of the way. All right. Now let us go to Matthew Samoda, right? Here he is, Jamaica. Here he is, and let us get into what Matthew Samoda is saying here. Government Minister Matthew Samoda has floated a recommendation for the Financial Investigations Division, FID, to be given the mandate to review or examine the statutory declarations of members of Parliament, MPs, instead of the Integrity Commission, IC. Samoda, a member of the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee, pitched the idea during a meeting of the body on Thursday. And he quote, let me open quote. All right. If you are providing oversight, your files should perhaps go through the Director of Information to be reviewed at FID. That is not going to work, Mr. Matthew Samoda. Not going to work, right? Point blank and period. Not at the same entity that you are providing oversight for, he said. He indicated that the FID has the capacity to examine the statutory declarations of parliamentarians as they do fit and proper assessment for all persons. Let me ask you a question, sir. If FID, right, has the capability and they do good and proper investigation that is not contaminated by Geico Lizard, why is it that from the time that the Integrity Commission investigators, right, handed over the report to FID, right, to do their investigation, why is it that FID sit and remain silent over there? Why is it? So we understand as to why, right, you'd want for it to give FID. But let me talk to you. I'm going to talk to you and show you that we're going to burst your bubbles, right? Now, and let me talk to my people. This is one of the reasons why it is important when we say that, right, the People's National Party would now achieve, right, defeating Andrew Holness from not having a 2/3 majority. So you see what they were planning to do. You see what they were planning to do. Now, if they had 2/3 majority, this, what he uttered, this garbage that you uttered, they would have proceeded in doing that. But guess what? Remember, Matthew, it's going to need 2/3 majority to deal with that. And remember, the People's National Party is not going to give you that, right? So take that out of your head. Whatever you have, whatever plans and blah, blah, you take that out of your head. It's not going to happen, right? Now, when you load, right, and this is it, you all bought into the corruption. You all bought in the protection of the criminal status quo that you are protecting, right? Because you are all benefiting. You are all benefiting. And let me say this to you now, Matthew. You have my attention. You finally have my attention, right? I am going to do some deep dive here. You are concerned, right? So you finally have my attention, right? You can prepare for me for the next, couple of days or weeks that it takes in terms of, myself digging into you. So you have my attention now, Mr. Matthew, right? Let me just take this call. Yes, caller, you're on Mystic Sensation Live. Please go ahead.
Hi, Mr. Byron, how you doing?
I'm fine. How you doing, my brother?
Good. And the person who spoke to you today, that would be calling this program.
Oh, yes. All right.
Yes, sir. But I want to ask you, Mr. Byron, tell me something.
Yes.
This man here, the Minister of Education, what happened to him? Don't they supposed to go to court sometime now? Mr. Martinium, Reed?
Oh, Rural Reed. Yes. Very good question.
Yes.
Very good question because, right, we know, all right. What I know for sure is that all of his so-called due process that he had utilized had been used up. So there's nowhere to go. The last time, as it relates to his trial, the judge told him that trial is next. And the judge told him that, okay, if you're found guilty, right, then you can just appeal it. But trial is next. So he's totally exhausted all his due diligence, his so-called due diligence that he has to exhaust. So he has to face trial. So that is where it is.
So let me ask you,
All right.
Tell me something. The DPP, she cannot play any part in it.
All right. Yes, of course the DPP can play. Hold on. Yes, come on. Hold the line. Let me just finish the call and let me talk. Hold the line. Don't move. Don't go anywhere. All right. So Carla, let me say this. All right. At this point in time, where rural read case is concerned, the DPP has no control over that, because it is now in the judiciary. It's in the court, right? It is not a case that needs to put into the court. It is already put into the court, so the DPP has no control over it.
Yes.
All right. So this is one of the cases that we are anticipating, right? The first judgment, right, is going to be done in this particular case. So the DPP has no control over this particular matter.
Yes, sir. Yes,
all right.
Sir. Oh, God. I know it's a long time now, Mr. Byron. It's a long time now. I can't believe. Because I'm just saying that there's some, some political whatever they're going on with.
Yes. Yes. Political delay tactics, but you know it goes.
Yes,
you understand? Sir. We are here to set them straight, man. Don't worry yourself. You understand? We are here. All right, my brother.
Yes.
All right.
I call you again, sir.
Yeah, man. Bless up yourself, my brother.
Yes, sir. Good.
All right. Let me just quickly go to my brother Conrad O'Brien, the fireman. You understand? Let me just put on the fireman here. Fireman, what you say? Talk to it.
Hey, what's up, my brother?
Good day.
Respect. Let us hail our forefathers. We don't have a perfect constitution, but certainly there are some safeguards in the constitution.
Yeah.
Because even if they had achieved 2/3 majority at the poll, or they have retained that 2/3 majority which they had before, they still could not do certain things because the upper house basically prevent them, because whatever you deserve, whatever is needed as 2/3 majority in the lower house, you need that 2/3 in the upper house as well. And in order for you to get the 2/3, at least one senator have to basically go with the government. And that is why Prime Minister Holness, when he was opposition leader, had his senators signed undated letter, because he was saying that any one of them dare to sign on to the Caribbean Court of Justice, which we saw, Byron, back in the fall, where at the 51st conference of the Caribbean, CARICOM, the guest speaker there put it front and center, which is the right call to say that the Caribbean as a whole, to include Jamaica, should basically come on board and accept the CCJ as its final appellate court.
Yes.
But there is also something mystic, and this is primarily why I call it the constitutional reform that we're talking about, when it was basically being overseen by Malahoo Fort. The JLP wanted to remove that 2/3 majority from the upper house, the Senate, that will safeguard against these things, so they would be able to basically push through all of these things without having to basically get that clearance of the 2/3 from the upper house. You understand?
Yes, but
or they will fix it in a way that they will have that number. So that of course, that was stillborn. It died natural death.
Exactly. But Conrad, just to show you understand where they plan to go with all of this to protect the status quo of corruption, right? Because because of course he had flaunted that idea, right, to take away the responsibility from the IC, to show you how by any means necessary that they will utilize to protect the status quo of criminality. But we are happy, you understand, that of course they can't get to utilize that because they simply don't have the 2/3 majority, Conrad O'Brien. So Jamaica need to be aware.
Absolutely. And let's just a few seconds on the IC scenario there. You know, we know as the former chair, Justice Spanton said that the IC don't put out frivolous report.
Yes.
Whatever the IC put out basically is investigation that has been done. You know, these things, when the IC put something out to the mistake for our listeners and viewers, the IC have already carried out investigation, interview, talk to whether corporation, individuals, or so on. So when they come out there, as Justice Spanton said, it's a matter of fact. It's facts they're putting out there. We have the man basically in our corner and basically put forward an opinion. It is fact. It is investigation that they carried out. So all these hanky-panky that we're hearing from Matthew and whoever, and so it's a damn disgrace, and they should be ashamed of themselves.
Exactly.
And they should do the right thing. And I want to say in closing, we hear the Prime Minister said, listen, he was not aware that Wheatley was on the investigation. And he said to us that he's checked far and wide among all his senators and all his members of parliament. And he didn't know. Therefore, Dr. Wheatley, or Minister Wheatley, would have carried the Prime Minister wide and lied to the Prime Minister.
Yes.
That alone would be sufficient for the Prime Minister to vote in.
But
you know, they need to have some respect for us as a people, man.
Exactly. But Conrad, you and I know that the Prime Minister, right, in terms of our common sense and critical thinking, right? If Wheatley said Wheatley did not tell the Prime Minister then when Wheatley was under investigation. Let me ask you now that the Prime Minister is fully aware, right, that Wheatley is under investigation and fully aware that Wheatley would have lied to him, right? The Prime Minister still decided to keep him. But that goes to tell you, Conrad.
Well, it is clear. It is clear that the Prime Minister believes that he is so compromised that he can't touch Wheatley.
Exactly.
Because, as I said before, let's give him the benefit of the doubt, as he said to us, that Wheatley did not tell him, so he never know. Which we know how that goes.
All right.
But now that we know the fact that he would have lied to him, that would be sufficient for any Prime Minister to get rid of a cabinet minister.
Yes.
So, you know, the country is being run. I don't want to talk about no party shop because party shop are good business.
in comparison to how they are running the country right now.
Yeah, man, party shop are good business. I mean, you talk about companies like Juicy Party that are basically billion-dollar companies and so on and so forth. So let's not disrespect party shop and reference the government being like a party shop.
Because hold on, Conrad. Because in the party shop, right, they do have checks and balance, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely. My friend and brother, have a wonderful show. You're off to a brilliant start.
All right.
And we're looking forward to hearing the erudite
Thank you.
the hard-working Kay Osborne.
All right.
I look forward to talk to her and my program as well. I haven't spoken to her yet, but I look forward to talking to her. And let's remind Jamaica and the world, Kay Osborne is not no hard-nosed political actor. Kay is a patriotic Jamaican. She's the former general manager, as I understand it, as of the RJR.
TVJ, not RJR, TVJ. TVJ.
I'm sorry, TVJ.
Yes.
Right? Which is a member of the RJR communication group.
Yes.
All right?
All right. Blessings.
Take it easy.
All right. Okay. Let me just people, I my mistake because Miss Osborne just sent a text to me that I didn't send her the link. It is my bad. So let me just call her and say I just send the link. Just hold on, people. Let me just call back Miss Osborne. Hi, Madam Osborne. I just sent you the link. My bad. It's my bad, and I apologize for that. I sent you the link, so you have the link now, so you can join us. Okay, thank you. All right. So I have just spoken to Sister K. Osborne, right? As what Fireman said, one of our erudite as it relates to social justice, right? And she will be joining us anytime soon. All right, she's here, my Jamaican people. Let me just have Mrs. Osborne, right, in the chat with us. All right, and let us greet her accordingly. Yes, of course, Mrs. K. Osborne, it's a pleasure to have you on the Mystic Sensation Live. For callers who are calling now, please just call back because I am currently have Miss K. Osborne in studio, right? So let me just begin as it relates to right welcoming Mrs. K. Osborne right in the chat. We you know the chat and myself we all welcome you. It's a privilege to have you here, Miss K. Osborne. Right?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. It's actually Ms. Osborne, but everybody call me Kay. I used to be Mrs. somebody else, but when I got divorced, I took up my father's name.
Oh, all right, all right. Now, Mr. Osborne, as I said, it's indeed a pleasure to have you on Mystic Sensation, right? And we're wishing you and the families God's greatest blessings.
Thank you.
Now, I have seen where you were the former general manager for TVJ, and you have been a social humanitarian activist, if I could claim it in that regards, for most of your life, including the recent campaign for social justice, which was a mega success. Let me add that. Now, that was regarding to the government, TCN, and other things that kind with that as well. Right now, I want you to give us some background of your profile and why you choose to engage the government and let me use the two primary word, in a measurably and justified way. All right, Mrs. K. Osborne, talk to us.
Thanks for that question. Let me clarify first. I have not been involved with advocacy all my life, obviously. When I was young, I went to meritones, enjoyed myself, just like many people my age. You paying attention, but you're really not focused on the way that we're focused now. But you are correct that for a large part of my adult life, I have spent a considerable amount of time advocating for and working for the benefit of essentially Black people wherever I am. I lived in Chicago for many, many decades. And while I was there, even though I had very good, people would say, excellent executive jobs in Fortune 500 company, and I was a vice president of global business for an emerging growth company, the second largest Black-owned company in America at the time. I still felt it necessary to spend time helping others. For example, I volunteered in Chicago. I volunteered. I went to a presentation by an event, and one of the presenters was the head of the prison system in Illinois. And she spoke about the desperate need of women in the prison system to help, to try to get help raising their children while they were incarcerated. Obviously, the children were on the outside and they were in the inside. So you can imagine what a challenge that would be, especially sometimes they didn't have the father of the children in the picture, the father might also be incarcerated. So I volunteered to head a program where I would go into the women's prison weekly and meet with a selection of women inmates and discuss what their needs were. And then I would leave and do the research with a group of other volunteers on how to solve the specific problems that the women articulated. And then I would go back the next week with offering the solutions, and then the women themselves would discuss which solution made sense. Of course, sometimes sometimes some of the women would choose or want to choose solutions that were not healthy because they were from environments that were not exactly wholesome. And so we'd have to guide them towards more healthy solution for the children. For example, instead of murderation, as we call it in Jamaica, you would try to help the child not engage in whatever the problematic behavior was. Another time, I was invited to be a member of the White House under George Bush, of all people.
Wow.
Had his mother had an initiative where they were trying to reduce the incidence of breast cancer among women in corporate America. And I was invited to join that committee that was headed by George Bush's mother. And my focus was to try to reduce breast cancer among Black women in corporate America. You know, I was one of those women.
Yes.
And so that was my focus. So it's been a long time that I've been involved with advocacy since I came home. I lived in the United States for many decades.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked globally. I was a part of my major career was in global strategy. And so I've worked mostly in I've worked in over 40 countries. And so coming back to Jamaica after I retired, I have that kind of experience and exposure. And so when I ran into Lester Spalding, who is the late chairman of the RGR group, and he said, come and run TVJ for us. I thought, yeah, well, even though I'm retired, I will step out of retirement and go do that. But then I discovered that the programming at the time, the focus of the station at the time was to go global, which is fine. We did that. We're online with one spot media and so on. But I realized that the programming was not as healthy for Jamaica as it could be or should be. For example, in prime time following the news, we had soap operas, things like Bold and the Beautiful and so on, where everybody's cousin was sleeping with their cousin and their friend and so on. That's not good for our country. The values are not good for our country every single night. And programs like that were being aired Monday to Friday. And so I got permission to recruit some brilliant Jamaican producers and others who lived in the diaspora and here, who worked in high positions in media, overseas and here. And they came and we formed a team and we decided to produce local programs that were healthy and good for the society. So we decided that TBJ would be a family-focused station. And so we took off all the slackness, Jamaicans call it slackness, and the stuff that was just unhealthy for the society. And we developed a whole slate of local programs that really support our communities. We still have All Together Sing, which is a program that brought back music in high school. Would you believe that Jamaica is a music country, and music had died in the high schools because of budget reasons? But once we had this competition for high school choirs, the schools were able to reach out and get donations and put out choirs. And many of the leaders of those choirs have gone on to win international competitions, like the biggest in the world in the UK. I don't remember the name of it, but whatever the program in the UK is, that is the biggest talent contest, singing talent contest in the world. One of our people who came out of All Together Sing won that.
All right.
Other stars have been born out of it. And we just changed how we put out a program called Your Issues Live, where we sent reporters to do a weekly live program in communities, where the communities members would come out and we'd invite the leaders, both parliamentarians and other leaders, where the community members could question the leaders about things they need in their community, roads, water, and schools, and so on. And all that was live on television, and the leaders would come out, because if they didn't show up, we had an empty chair on the platform, and the interviewer would say that chair is for XYZ leader who has decided not to show up. So we did a lot of good. We brought back boxing in Jamaica with a program named The Contenders, where it essentially closed down Kingston for the finals with the traffic and the people and so on and so forth. Rising Stars, All Angles, that is still on TVJ, which is a discussion program with Deion Jackson Miller, came out of that whole Jamaica-focused initiative. To me, that's advocacy.
Yes.
You know, that's advocacy. You mightn't call it that, but if you're not advocating for the country, you're just showing the American programs. And, you know, some of them are not really good for the country. Of course, we want entertainment, but they're not good for the country. So,
right. But, you know, sitting here, right, and listening to you, right, just highlighting that rich talent and the sense of creativity and innovation, it just blew me away, right, that you just get into certain space, right, and you just make it work.
Yeah.
Right? It's just marvelous.
Right, and it was a team effort. I mean, and everybody on board. I mean, people, I'll give you an example. Our cameramen, of course, they work regular hours, but New Year's Eve is a big family time. And so you would expect them to not want to work New Year's Eve night because it's family time. However, we decided that we needed to go to the waterfront where there was fireworks.
Yes.
We needed to go to the churches to see what was happening in the churches. We need to go to Halfway Tree. We needed to go to the hotels that were having parties and so on. And would you believe that we had people who actually volunteered to do that, really, because the spirit of the company had become such that we were just trying to do the best for Jamaica. And in fact, I would go from site to site, and I maybe shouldn't talk this out, but we're not allowed to drink anything, any alcohol. New Year's Eve night, we would share in like a plastic thing. When we reach the various side, we'd share a little bit of champagne together, just so that we would.
Of course, why not?
You know, exactly. Nobody know I'm the manager. I'm not going to talk.
Yes.
So, you know what I mean? So we would do a little thing, and just to build the spirit in the company, and we get the work done.
All right, and that is in the sense of liberalization. Sometimes you have to liberalize a bit, you know. You can't just
You cannot bend the rules a little bit.
A little flexibility is good.
Flexibility to get the thing done, because you're doing it really for the country.
All right.
Now with this new initiative, really what happened was, for me, my involvement with it.
All right, no, hold on, Sister Osborne, because I just want to just take my time and just move into that space. And I want to guide your thoughts a bit. And that is one of the reasons why I just stop you right there. So let me just guide your thoughts a bit. Right. Today, as we speak, right, there is no clarity because we have seen you out there as it relates to what you had put together and it became a success, right? In terms of persons who physically attended. But when you look on the social media, if you go on my channel, you will see that some 11,000 people tune in. If you go on particularly a Partner Draw TV maybe have roughly about 40 to 50,000 and goes on and goes on. The amount of social media platforms, right, that carry, when you put that tally together, it's a huge success. But all right, let us tune in now. We have done all of that. We have seen your energy. Right. Today, as we speak, there is still no clarity with the TCM program based on inconsistencies from the government utterances, particular as to whether it was Jamaica initiated USA, right, to bring 10,000 deportees, or vice versa, right? Now, the thing is, lately we had heard the Prime Minister. I don't know if you want me to play that video, right? Going contrary to what the Minister of Security, right, said, as it relates to, yes, United States initiated, and going contrary to what Audrey Marks said, that, the United States initiated. Now, I don't want to, if you want me to play that clip for you.
It's your program, go ahead. That's
right.
fine.
Let's just play this clip. I want you to hear the Prime Minister himself, right, going contrary as it relates to both of what both of them said. And this is going to make today's conversation really, really interesting. Let me just find this clip for you. Right, let me just find this clip for you. So I want you to listen, and at the end of it, you're going to hear the Prime Minister said, United States did not initiate. Let us get a bite into this.
Just handed over a social housing unit, and I'm here with the lovely Eugenie Brown. You see how she look? Like a youngster. And Eugenie approached me with a concern. Tell him what is your concern, Eugenie.
Yes, sir. I get to understand that the deportees that are coming to Jamaica, that you are welcoming them here. They are rapists, murderers, and you're carrying them to Jamaica. Oh, we're going to survive with them here under these circumstances that's going on in Jamaica. We are trying to put under control. How we going to manage those with them? We want to know exactly if they are victims or whatsoever.
So who tell you that now?
I hear it on the social media, and I saw Mr. Golin demonstrating yesterday in Goal, saying that you are inviting convicted people in Jamaica.
And you believe that?
I don't believe it, but that is why I asked you.
Good.
If I did believe, I would run with it.
All right.
That is why I'm asking you.
So there are two lessons here. One, don't believe everything you hear.
Yeah.
And I am so proud of you because you hear something, you don't take it as truth.
Yeah.
You go and seek further information to verify.
Yes, sir.
And that is called media literacy.
Yes.
Right? Because not everything, and especially on social media,
yes, sir.
I would say about 80% of the things you see on social media are not fully accurate.
Yes,
all right? And so it is good that you felt the need to ask.
Yes,
all right.
sir.
Second issue is that it is not true.
Okay, sir.
The government of Jamaica has signed a memorandum of understanding with the government of the United States. It is not yet operationalized, meaning that though we have an agreement, no one has been brought to Jamaica under that agreement because we have not worked out as yet the terms on which they would come. What we have worked out with them is that we're not taking no murderer, we're not taking no rapist, we're not taking no pedophile, no one with a criminal background
Okay.
will be taken on that MOU. And I want to assure you of that.
Yes, sir.
And I want to then now take you to another analysis of the situation. As a Jamaican,
Yes, sir.
you remember when they were seeking to increase the number of Jamaicans who were being deported here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you realize how strongly I was. I sent a message to the persons who are coming back. That when you come back to Jamaica, nobody come here
Yes, sir. Yes,
with no
sir.
badness. Nobody feel like it's the same Jamaica that you left 10 years ago. When you come back here, different business.
Yes, sir.
And I was very strong on that.
Yes, sir.
Then you think, say, no, me would have got take foreign criminal come here.
That is why.
Yeah, some of the things them we don't know.
That
If
is
the
why
people
I
them
try
really
to.
think,
That
right?
is why I
But-
try to get to you to find out
Yes.
the real fact.
Yeah, so watch me now. Me work hard, you know. The police them work hard to bring the situation under control.
Yes.
And by the way, to be frank, the Americans never even approach us with that.
All right, stop it right there. Let me stop share that, because I know that, of course, right, or heard that Mrs. Osborne would have heard that clear coming from the Prime Minister. Now, let me ask you, Mrs. Osborne, based on that level of inconsistency, where the Prime Minister is now saying to Jamaica that the United States didn't even approach us. Now, here you have the Minister of National Security, Horace Strong, saying that the United States did initiate, right? We have Audrey Marks saying that the United States did initiate. And here you have the Prime Minister said, the United States didn't even approach us. Now, what is your take on the level of inconsistency, Sister Osborne?
Well, the problem that most Jamaicans have, most well-thinking Jamaicans, and most Jamaicans are well-thinking, is from the get-go. First of all, we did not hear about this arrangement from the government initially. And so the first time we heard anything about it was when the Gleaner essentially, what we call in Jamaica, bust the story. And so it was concerning to a lot of people that the information would have come from the media and not the government, since it is such an important program, and it would likely affect a lot of issues here in Jamaica.
Okay, we seems to be having some Wi-Fi issue with Sister Osborne. But based on the question, let me just continue.
Poor people are still under tarpaulin. The money has not been spent, only 2%. We had the shocking news recently that only 2% of the donated funds by you people in the diaspora and others overseas, $1.44 billion. We just heard that 98% of it has not been spent, that has been sent to the government as cash money, and it is now 8 months after the hurricane, and another hurricane season is upon us, and people are still out there wanting. And so and we know our infrastructure here popped down. The healthcare system is in shambles. Up to 3 weeks ago, nurses at UA had to go on strike and they themselves characterize the circumstances upon which they're working as dangerous for themselves and for the patients. So we know that here. So given all of that, the socioeconomic situation, we're a poor country, America is a rich country, and then on top of that, and the secrecy that the government has shielded this information from us. Here comes a video by Secretary of State, U.S. Secretary of State,
Marco Rubio,
describing the people who will be sent to third countries such as Jamaica as the most despicable people that that Trump, it's his job and Trump's job to keep America safe. So even if he didn't describe them as despicable, they're putting them out of America because they want to keep America safe. How can Jamaica embrace people who America think is unsafe? So given all of those questions and all of those issues that Jamaica faced, I just felt compelled because I didn't see any real action being put into saying, hey, we need the details. We need Parliament to look at this thing. The population need to know why you are committing to this thing. As the Prime Minister said, there is an agreement. And so we need to understand what has the government agreed on behalf of us, the citizens of the country. And so I'm a member of the Advocates Network, which is a group of organizations that advocate for good governance. And this whole issue fall into the governance portfolio. And so in discussions with them, we just decided, you know something, I will step out. I will try, I will be the convener, the face of the protest, A, because I'm retired and have the time, and B, because people know me and know what I stand for, that I stand for Jamaica. And so that is how it came about. And to really my surprise, not only did hundreds of people show up before 7 o'clock in the morning to add their voices to ours and amplify the protest, but every single traditional media in Jamaica, in addition to what happened on social media, every single major radio station, television station, newspaper carried positive stories about the protest and about why we're doing this thing and are questioning it. The Council of Churches has put out one of the strongest statements the umbrella Council of Churches has ever put out, saying, no, this is not right for Jamaica. The government need to come to the country about it. And they even go as far as to say it must stop. And the country need to have a conversation about it. And so, in addition, even international media has become interested in the story. The Washington Post carried a major story about it. And the Washington Post is, as you know, one of the biggest newspapers in America, and I assume in the world. Yes. And if they're covering it, they're saying this is an important issue to pay attention to. And so we believe that we have been successful in getting the word out because we represent, by happenstance, the voice of the people, because we the people are saying this can't just run so. And there are too many contradictory statements. The Minister of Information, Dana Morrison, is saying one thing. The Minister of Security is saying something else. Miss Marks is saying a third thing. The Prime Minister is saying something different. We can't run a country like that.
All right. Now, judging from some of the concerns that you previously mentioned, right, and which one of the worst in the sense that, right, we have, many of our people still sleeping on the tarpaulin and totally exposed to the elements. Now, let us consider the factors. Let us argue, constructively here. Now, say for argument's sake that, okay, what the Prime Minister is saying, that there is no criminal coming and so forth. If we are to give him that, right? Now, let us speak. For one, let us consider some factors now, Mrs. Osborne. One, our economy, right, have serious constraints. Two, our healthcare is dilapidated.
Right.
When you look on those two factors, right, under no circumstances that we can tolerate, right, that situation in terms of having people, right, to pressure a porous system that we have, and where our Jamaican people have not been benefited from sacrifice being made as it relates to certain contributions. And you mentioned $1.4 billion was collected by this government, and less than 2%. And when we look on all of these, the government, right, is undermining that. And then try to now go engage the United States, whether United States want to engage them or they want to engage the United States. The fact of the matter, as it relates to our current situation, we know that it cannot be a prudent move regardless of whatever situation it is. I am asking you, if the government hell-bent that they are going to do this, I am asking you because you have done it and you have seen the impact of that. Are you willing again to galvanize, to re-galvanize? This time, try to make it even much bigger, right? To send the government a message. Are you willing to re-energize this situation again?
Sure. The Advocates Network is currently planning. We had a meeting up till late last night thinking about the approach, and everybody will hear that approach. But, let me stop right here and just say, my whole thing is pro-Jamaica. And let me tell you why I am saying that. If you are a government of a country and America approach you with a thing like this, to me, the prudent thing to do would be to say, we really can't manage this right now. These are our circumstances. Show the evidence of what has happened since Hurricane Melissa, to say, look, we still pop down. Such a big percentage of our GDP, over 45%, I believe, was wiped out with Melissa. We can't manage it right now. But let me take this to the Parliament and discuss it there and get back to you. That is if America is pushing for it. Now, when you take it to Parliament and the people of Jamaica say no, then the government would have a shelter. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. They would be able to say truthfully that the people of Jamaica have a real problem with this, especially now that we're under such pressure. Our infrastructure is so fragile and our economy is fragile, and look what Melissa, and only it would have to be a most unreasonable set of people in America who would not take that into consideration. But instead of trusting us, the people, to help the government create the environment that allows us not to burden ourselves with this issue, with these people coming, they went and signed an agreement in secret. And up to now, they have not come to the people and said clearly in Parliament, this is what we signed to. And that is a part of why Jamaicans are up in arms, including labor rights and people who are neither green nor orange, who didn't vote, who haven't voted, who are on the side, who believe that this is not right for Jamaica, who know that the approach cannot be the right way. And then when people are expressing their views about it, the Prime Minister's response is to say, it's nonsense. It's nonsense to be so concerned about it. I mean, come on. That is disrespectful.
Exactly. You know, Sister Osborne, based on the government unilateral approach and not, bringing this to Parliament, as you mentioned, right? In terms of your personal observation and your space in Jamaica, do you feel that this is an encroachment on your sovereignty And do you see that it is a message sent as a sense of dictatorship? Define that in terms of how you feel about it.
I don't want to characterize it as one thing or another because, you know, these terms, there's a legal definition, there's a sociology definition, and so on. What I can say with confidence from my heart is this is not right for our people. And our people understand that, look, Jamaican people, a lot of people in Jamaica are not educated in the formal sense. But Jamaicans have common sense. Jamaican people have it up here. They can work things out. And Jamaican people have worked out that this decision is not in the interest of our nation and that the government need to wheel and come again.
All right. One of the items that you advocate on, right, was also, you know, clarity in the Prime Minister's statutory declaration. And I want to go there, right? If you feel uncomfortable in terms of, you know, be careful in terms of how you answer the question.
No, actually, no, it's a Dr. Wheatley situation.
Okay, the Dr. Wheatley.
Yeah, and I can tell you straight up what our view is.
Yes.
Dr. Wheatley is a member of the cabinet.
Yes.
The cabinet is privy to all the big decisions that affect our country, all the financial decisions coming in and out, all the strategies, and so on. And also, any member of the cabinet can influence decisions, decisions concerning themselves, influence decisions concerning the country.
Yes.
Start there. There's no argument about that. The integrity, look, let me start by explaining a democracy such as ours is built on what is called pillars of democracy. The pillars of democracy are the institutions that cause and allow and facilitate the democracy to work. They include the justice system. So if the judges are corrupt, then that undermines the democracy. You would agree?
Agreed.
If another pillar of democracy is the Integrity Commission, it is the very Prime Minister who initiated and put together the Integrity Commission and put some very credible people like former Chief Justice and so on it, and the Accountant General on it as the people who are in charge of it, who run the organization, who look at the statutory declarations of parliamentarians and other high officials, and then make a determination as to whether they sign off on them, saying that these declarations make sense based upon the evidence or not. If the evidence piles up and there is such a problem that they feel there is criminal conduct, then they recommend that charges be brought. And in the case of Dr. Wheatley, the Integrity Commission has recommended that criminal charges are brought against Mr. Wheatley for what they say have documented are $164 million of assets that Dr. Wheatley himself has been unable to explain how he got these assets. I think they call it unexplained assets.
Or disproportionate to his
disproportionate to his income.
Yes.
And also false declaration, meaning that they claim that he put wrong information. Now, let me start by saying everybody in a democracy, you are innocent until you are found guilty. And so Dr. Wheatley is assumed innocent, 100% innocent, until he is found guilty in a court of law. So after the Integrity Commission come to their judgment, they hand over their recommendation to the Director of Public Prosecution, who do their investigation and determine if charges are to be brought. If charges are brought, then it goes through the criminal justice system, and at the end of it, the person is either convicted or not. We are saying that that process should be allowed to go through. And while it is going through, Dr. Wheatley ought to step aside from the cabinet and from his government position, because he has access to information and so on, and influence that could both influence the situation as well as stuff that have to do with the country. And we don't want that kind of cloud over the office that he holds and over himself, who hold that office while he's a member of the cabinet, being responsible for our business, for we, the people's business. Moreover, while Dr. Wheatley is involved in defending himself, which is his right, he has to necessarily primarily be focused on his legal strategy and so on, the things that he has to do. So we do not want the country's business to be brought into all of that problem and issue and clouded over a personal matter, because his matter is a personal matter. And the business of cabinet is the country's cabinet. That's why we're saying he should step aside, because he's now responsible for the country's business while he remains there. If he doesn't step aside, we're saying that the prime minister ought to cause him to step aside, to put him aside. And the reason the prime minister is obliged to do that is that the prime minister's duty is to protect the reputation of the cabinet, the reputation of Dr. Wheatley and his thing outside of the country's issues, and more important than all of that, protect the reputation of the country. And if we continue to have cabinet minister under investigation, Integrity Commission is saying charges should be brought, then it keeps the whole system under a cloud. So the prime minister needs to remove that cloud from over the reputation of our country by just putting the gentleman out of the cabinet until the whole thing is settled. That's what we're saying. But the prime minister now, by saying he has confidence in the gentleman's work, and by his action, he has decided to keep him in the cabinet. That's not going to work, because him having confidence in the man's work is not the issue. The issue is Jamaica's reputation versus shielding this gentleman from the corruption situation. So that cannot be. In fact, what the prime minister has inadvertently done is to spread the cloud from Dr. Wheatley to the cabinet, to himself, because once he decides to keep Dr. Wheatley in the cabinet, the question must necessarily arise among well-thinking Jamaicans as to why would he do that, since his obligation is to protect the reputation of the country.
Okay. All right. You mentioned as it relates to his obligation to protect the reputation of the country. And that is where I want to go a little bit further with you, Sister Kate. So let me ask you, the Prime Minister sets the social tone, right, for the country as it relates to the social order for the country, right? Ensuring that, everyone being treated equally, right? And seek to have the peace and tranquility of the society. However, it appears to be that there's a cancer growing into the parliament, a cancer going into the cabinet, and overall, a cancer extended within the governance. I want to ask you this. The Prime Minister unable to have his statutory declaration certified going 4 years into 5 years. Now, the Integrity Commission investigators said for previous statutory declarations that were certified, they are now saying that the reason those statutory declarations were certified is because they did not do any investigation within those statutory declarations leading up to 2020. And so then they are saying from way back from 1998, the Prime Minister's statutory declaration has not certified. I am saying, as it relates to PSOJ, umbrella group of churches and civil society, if we allow the Prime Minister to continue to go on with his statutory declaration cannot be certified, as it relates to your observation, what sort of message that would be sending?
Well, it's an issue for the country. I mean, all of the issues that we are raising now, which has to do with the deportee deal, the secrecy, the apparent lack of concern for the country and citizens' welfare and so on, and the pop-down state of social services, the Dr. Wheatley situation and the corruption cloud, and the fact that the money for Melissa has not been spent, only 2% has been spent. And you ask yourself, why is the money being hoarded? Is it being hoarded to run election? Well, the people did not donate it for any other purpose except for to support the people who were harmed. All of that and the Prime Minister's statutory declaration issues, all of them come under the umbrella of problematic governance. And that is where our advocacy remains. We are pushing as hard as we can to try to get the government to put in, to behave in a more appropriate way, more respectful way, and to serve the country's interests in a way that is more obvious to the people. I mean, it is just a terrible situation. And quite frankly, a part of the problem is that more citizens are not using their capacity to leverage what they can to put pressure on the government. For example, just like in Canada or in the United States, where a problem comes up and citizens flood your representatives' offices with phone calls and emails, you can do that here. You can do that. You can pressure them. You can request town hall meetings. You can demand town hall meetings, and you can let the media know that you're demanding town hall meetings, that you're demanding answers to these questions as the diaspora people in this community or as individuals. You have all that power, and there is power in numbers. And it really takes the engagement of all of us to recognize. We now recognize the pattern. The pattern is that governance is an issue in Jamaica, and bad governance seeds corruption. That just happens. And bad governance is a way to shield corruption. And we cannot have that. We're too poor a country and people work. I hear the Prime Minister say he worked hard. Look, both when I lived in the United States and even when I was at TVJ, there were times I did not leave the studio for 3 days when there was an issue or a big crisis or something. Did not leave, and there's no bed at the studio. So the Prime Minister can talk all he wants about hardworking. We are a hardworking set of people.
All right. Sister Osborne, judging, from all of the implications that we have, been getting as it relates to this particular government, right? Do you believe that the criminal justice system failed us in that regards, in terms of?
Well, the criminal justice system is overwhelmed. That's a part of the the infrastructure that is so problematic here, because when you have a case to go through the criminal justice system, it takes years when it should take weeks probably. And that's a part of the problem with the deportee deal, because when the people come here, let us take the government at face value and say 25 people will come every 2 weeks. Look here, 25 people every 2 weeks is a lot of people, you know. And for them to be processed through our criminal justice system, what are they going to be prioritized over the issues that we have in our criminal justice system that have been held for years? I mean, how does that work? You know what I mean? It just, the whole thing, as a child, we would say, just bang up.
Yes.
And that's why everybody needs to get their voices heard and support Advocates Network that is out there doing some of the work, but it takes much more to pressure the government to do things right.
Exactly. So let me just ask you the final question, right? Because I don't want to really exhaust you that much. All right. We have seen yesterday, we were the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee, and we are some members, right, on the committee, particularly on the Jamaica Labour Party side, seems to be on a campaign, right, to burn down the Integrity Commission.
That is actually, when I saw the report, I must tell you the truth. I actually laughed when I saw it first, what Senator Samoda said. I actually laughed because I felt that it was so corrupting that it was absurd. It had gone all the way over to absurdity. Let me explain what I mean. The Integrity Commission has just, their annual report has just been tabled. And I think it's in yesterday's Gleaner, they published that in addition to the number of parliamentarians that are under investigation, I think there are 8, I don't remember the number, but some number.
I think
one
so.
person from the Senate has been added to that number. So the number has gone up. Those that are currently under investigation.
Well, that number is 15, Ms. Osborne, 15.
Thank you. Whatever the number is, it has gone up in their annual report. It was tabled yesterday. No. Immediately after it was tabled, that the number under investigation for essentially corruption, because Integrity Commission looking to protect the country from corruption. Here comes a senator, a JLP senator, saying, well, actually, let us move the powers of investigation from the Integrity Commission, and the Integrity Commission has all of the things that are necessary to do the investigation. And mark you, what really needs to happen is that the Integrity Commission need to be strengthened. The legislation need to be strengthened to give them more power. But that is not the focus of what the senator said yesterday, the JLP senator, Senator Samoda. He said, instead of doing that, let us undermine the Integrity Commission and put the investigation into the FID. No. Who did the Prime Minister just hire, or the government just hire, to be head of the FID?
The Prime Minister.
That was a big controversy here. Mr. Dennis Chong.
Yes.
Who it was clear from his resume and the issues around that, he does not have the qualifications for the job until the qualifications were revised in order to suit and match his qualifications, number one. And secondly, he is the bicycle partner of the Prime Minister, who they ride on a weekend morning together, and our friends. And more importantly, you can put your friend in good position. That can happen. But more importantly, Mr. Chung had come out prematurely and said, after looking at the things that the Integrity Commission had said about the Prime Minister's filings, there was nothing wrong with it. And now you're going to put him in charge of deciding whether or not there was anything wrong with it, head of that organization. And now the senator, the day after the Integrity Commission says, these people are under not criminal investigation, but they're under investigation, corruption type of investigation. A senator is saying, get rid of the investigative powers from the IC and give it to this gentleman who has been put in this position by the Prime Minister. Now, first of all, let's just be calm and say, at the very least, that's bias. And it could be worse than bias. But it was such a ridiculous thing to do, given what we know about the position and so on, and all the controversy that occurred earlier when Mr. Chung was given the position, and the position description, the role description was he didn't qualify, and then it was changed so that he could qualify, and all of that controversy. For them to now say, put all of that investigative power in that organization. And not only that, that organization is under the Ministry of Finance that is headed by the finance minister, and the finance minister is the minister in the cabinet.
Yes, and not only that,
that makes sense.
And not only that, Mrs. Osborne, the junior minister, Xavier Main, right, has also, right, being targeted by the, no, I wouldn't say targeted, being investigated by Integrity Commission, and where he's now seeking judicial review, right? So
I didn't know about that, but just based on what I said,
yes,
you tell me how that could possibly be in the interest of Jamaica land we love.
It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, but let us for your final question, sorry, right? I sort of might get the idea that might be you want to re-energize, right? I don't know how truthful that is. So talk to us, right, on some of your plans to execute another march if you are planning to.
The plans are not finalized because it takes a lot of planning and a lot of coordination. This is an Advocates Network initiative, and as you know, working with a group and deciding and so on is like making sausage.
All right.
It's complex and it takes time and so on, but we are in the process and we will do something more.
Okay, and from what
the issues are still there, and the issues are not going away. And Jamaicans, a sociologist at the university, called me yesterday. Somebody I don't know, I've never spoken to him before, and he got my number and he called me and he said, Kay, I'm telling you from a sociological point of view, you have hit a nerve of Jamaicans everywhere, and so you must continue.
All right. Thank you for that, Kay Osborne. And it is a wonderful thing. So whenever you're ready, remember this platform, right, is 100% behind you. I know that Partner Draw TV will also leading out on many platforms. So just give us the signal, right, when you're ready to do so. And of course, we are on board, right?
Thank you very much. And we will let Jamaica know, because we want Jamaica to show up, as whoever can show up to show up.
Okay. All right. Thank you to make it.
Oh, one last thing. This is very important. We are a non-partisan organization.
Yes.
Of course, on social media, some bloggers would want to paint us in a corner. But listen, your listeners need to know that's an old political ploy that is used to shut down principled arguments, to shut down discussion on the issues at hand, and to distract from the real argument, to push you in a corner and dirty up the organization and the people involved Don't let it work. Push aside the labeling. Think Jamaica. That's where we're focusing.
All right. I want to say thank you for your precious time you spent with us, Mrs. Osborne. We really appreciate you. And don't be a stranger of the platform. We're looking forward to have you again. All right.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Welcome. All right. So there you have it. Right. The erudite, right? Miss K. Osborne, right? Had spoken to us there, right? And it was a pleasure indeed in having her. So now let us tune in now, re-engage with the program again. And as we say, right, as it relates to, right, Matthew Samuda wanting to, you know, shift the responsibility from the Integrity Commission investigators as it relates to supervising the statutory declarations of MP, right? We are telling him that it's not going to work, right? And goes back in terms of what we are saying in terms of how well the People's National Party had done. Okay, the calls are coming in. All right, let me just take this call. Yes, Carl, you're on Mystic Sensation Live. Please go ahead, caller. Blessings.
Yeah. Lovely speech on the miss. Yeah.
Thank you.
What whole speech. What may I say? Let me ask you once. See the Christian. Before the Prime Minister them raise a pay, which is almost 300%.
Yes.
Both the government, the opposition. You remember the Prime Minister used to get before they take a raise?
Well, I could say that the Prime Minister himself was getting $9 million, right, for the year, yeah.
Okay, all right. And now we might get about 28 million for the year, done?
Yes, he's getting 28 million, roughly in that ballpark.
Okay, all right. Roughly say my good 27. Just put take that 27. All right. So it 9 that come from a triple. It double. You answer double time. So it doesn't have to triple partly double time.
No, you can. Well, you can partially say 300%. Partially.
Yeah, 300%. 300%. 300%. You ever see? Panama raise nobody pay, which is the teacher, the police, the doctor, the nurse, name it. All I think that's around them we are work. You ever see them double on them pay?
No, never. Normally, I think the highest the Prime Minister will go 15-20%, just about that.
Okay, all right. Did you see any of the government will pass on, some will pass off and some alive same way? When the government, you see anyone know never do them pay?
No.
No, man. La question may I ask. La question is that if me just ask some questions, if I was only for things but let's ask some and a positive question may ask in my own.
Okay. Oh, you're asking me some rhetorical questions because you're asking me the question and answering them. So that's what you're asking? Okay, that's what you're doing?
Okay, all right. Yes.
Okay.
So may I ask that then question? You see, to be honest with you,
yes.
I would say about half of Jamaican people just looking for a minimum wage, now $1 million for the year. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Look on this now. 3/4 of the people around the country are private sector around Jamaica in general. We don't want to glad to say that. God bless Jamaican people in general, which is we black people. All right. 3/4 hotel in Jamaica owned by private sector as well.
Mm-hmm.
Look on this. Let's get this enough. Never talk of idea for Jamaica. And it's enough. Your Prime Minister get $1 million and get $1 million for the month. I talk of my own idea, my input.
Yes.
And opposition get 10 and 11 million for the year. And the rest of them pass the field, get, for instance, say 8 or 9 million for the year. When you as a government put over 27 million pounds with it, we don't make a produce with that. At the end of the day, the teacher them now get proper pay, The police target up here, the nurse target up here, all I see workers on me are work, we are going to stress that they pick them at school and they not up here. They tell them we have sometimes they tell them go to school, they teach pick them, and they can buy up home, so they want to buy. They have to stress and all that sitting there. When the year come, they can't run fine, so I want $3 million for the year. That's how we're speaking. The end of the day, and you have to cut money for our who taxpayer who's been earned already. At the same time, you turn around, when you're not earned, and turn as an example. I may agree with crime at all. Never said the part. I may agree with crime. No, yeah. I may agree with crime no time at all. And next thing I say, you feel like you too much money. And the investigators have to investigate. But we have to get away. Still take and put people back. We not heard of anybody.
Yes.
What the benefit? What benefit him there for? What the benefit them? Not them said them. What benefit them there for? It's benefit we in the country. What expect we to do? We are having $1 million last year. $1 million for the plan to do. Not even much money. Eh? What expect we to do?
But hold on, Carl. Hold on, Carl.
As a poor people can't fight already.
All right, hold on. All right, hold on, Carl. Hold on, Carl, because I heard your passion and you know I can feel your energy, genuine passion, and all the questions that you are asking are genuine, right? Questions of concerns. Now, let me say this to you. Basically, in terms of all what you have just spoken about, the Prime Minister high salary package, right? The 200 and 300% and so forth and so forth. Obviously, the Jamaica economy cannot sustain it. But the Prime Minister, remember now, and this is what I keep on telling Jamaican people, that the Prime Minister and his administration is not on a trajectory of nation building. They are on a trajectory of breaking down the nation. Breaking down the nation. Now, let me tell you something. Whenever you see any government, right, not putting emphasis as it relates to educating the nation or upskilling the nation, that government, right, has no interest in nation building, sir. When you see a government doesn't care about the health care of the society and of the health care of the society, right, ravished, run down, drained, dilapidated, that government, right, doesn't care about its people. When you see that government, right, where the Auditor General is telling you that this government cannot give an account for $3 trillion, that government has no essence as it relates to nation building, sir. Right? So we need to aware, you understand, who we are dealing with. We are dealing with someone, right, who doesn't care, regardless of the PR, regardless of how he packages it, regardless of how he can run to Portland private building and speak upon, right, pat himself round Troy Bridge, right, in terms of the prolonged pressure that he had gotten, you understand, to have the bridge, right, erected. All of that, you understand? Look here, the Prime Minister is in an illusion, total illusion of success. That is what the Prime Minister wants to build Jamaica into, an illusion of success.
Look at housing trust as an example. But it benefit the poor class of people. But for instance, when I earn not much, you earn $1 million per year. Yeah? And then the housing trust, poor people can benefit from. You go and take out the little much the poor people get benefit from. So then the day, we put poor people through. Don't find out like a fix and a call, people. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because the day I say, I feel me attack them because I'm not using them to know. So I'm using me attack them who I put two hours of my food between me and my wife. And as somebody tell me feel it of myself, me I feel it going tight. You know what I mean? For me, I say, as an exam, stick up in. I remember this. We don't make the house now. We don't make the house now. But much poor people can pay. Poor people can buy. I remember them DJ passing in that I never forgot. And now I told them to tomorrow's. And poor people are already the minimum wage and take them pay for it. And take God if they want every time come. No matter how small then they can pay for it. No, they won't tell me no one else. Poor people can buy none. The people get smart people get reputation for foreign. And somebody will probably be eligible to Jamaica. Well, maybe I tell them we are buying a people with no things.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So then the day, man, they're putting nothing at all in place to Jamaica people, you know, like, come up. It's a people on the ground. It's all we say that I put that show facts to me. But that's why I come back and say, I don't believe in crime or you believe from here, I'm not going to at all. So at the end of the day, the government, them, you know, they're supposed to use the resource, make some factory, make school, make hospital. You want something and put the people to work. You can't expect you want money from people and then people are there to live with that. You tell them we are in the country. The people are some of them are military and they are mega.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't put nothing in place to benefit the poor kind of people. They put things in, they put the law control for a while. Let them put in. And as far as me concerned, this prime minister and him. If not, nobody out there now listen. You know, everything when I'm talking now, you know, where say you're going to come back from us all that time?
All right. Exactly.
Somebody can never run the head. And then you say head can't take into amount euro organic like this. People taking that one, they come to a group of people and you communicate that you think about this. And next one is alright, let me try some cameras like that. And you look for white, you come to a group and I say, I'm good, this is how cool. That's what you don't think. You don't think by yourself, and you don't think by yourself, like you know, busy with people, brother.
Well, let me tell you something, Carla, right? Because we are here, right? And we come on the platform and we speak on these issues, highlighting these issues, right? Unless we're ready to move towards, right, galvanizing. And I'm glad our Sister K. Osborne was here earlier, right? And, you know, that is going to be impactful. So for people who are really serious about wanting change, right, for the next potential, you know, march that is, you know, going to be done, right? People need to be galvanized and, right, go out there and support the cause, right? Because it's only the people at this time, at this stage in time, right, can definitely get this government out of power. One has to even research as it relates to in the Philippines have done the same thing, right? They come together, right, and they got the corrupted government. It was the same behavior, similar behavior the Philippine government was behaving, you know. When they get like their hurricane money, because there was an hurricane in Philippines, when the government got the money, the government make use, right, convert the money to his personal use. And here it is that the Philippine population get together, right, put out the party politics, right, march and get him out, and he has to leave. So we have to sensitize our Jamaican people that the only way, right, that we are going to push back, because we want to see the government leave this area. And that is one of the reasons why I'm bringing up the statutory declaration. You understand? Push it in the face, right, of civil society. Push it in the face of the umbrella group. Push it in the face of the PSOJ to say, here it is. Are you going to continue to allow someone, the Prime Minister, to continue sitting in our parliament, right? Continue grow this cancer in parliament? There's a cancer in the government growing.
May I say something here? You see?
Right?
You see, Prime Minister will go in the punch that. He might come over a poor table thing. You think he might go for that half father?
Well, look.
You think he might go for that father?
We are saying the high level of corruption need to be stopped.
That's me say to myself, say, something wrong somewhere. Come here, tell us if I didn't say Seaga pin, film shoes, not PMP shoes. If I'm PMP, I'm opposition. Now look up opposition, look at the PMP, you know?
Yes.
And that's what I'm saying. When they were first with the 18 baby, and when 32 are female in 1 month, by one hospital, and you know, hear them gun about it, and 18 from being with a private. When the private sector, I really go to them opposition and tell to what not seeing. And you know, you then go about it. And when the man make up some of the people if we get benefit from illegal agency. So I have to know all of the small something.
Yes.
I'm not gonna catch free. And people, we will come from media and talk about, yes, we have a couple of somebody here, and not too much people. You know what I mean? And you look at it as this man has too much thing, brother. This man come like, here's something about him we don't understand, and it go about me after one brother.
All right, well, all right.
You see how them only take for Jamaica people, we should go away in our
Yes.
We don't want to go back to Jamaica people. We have to tell you that before we come off, I mean, you will also let that. I mean, them only take where should never take to Jamaica people. I mean, also one more thing. Them only never get how much money they make for the year. You know, the government needs to get $12 million for the year. Because food tax they only never take.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I mean, they take too much money. They might never too much.
All right. All right.
Jamaica, 3/4 of the business went for price coming before, and Jamaica a price them. You know what I mean? Not for Jamaica people, brother.
All right, Carla. Okay, all right, Carla. All right, Carla. I have to run if you know. You understand, but we understand where you're coming from. All right.
Yeah, man.
All right. Bless yourself. All right. You can hear the Carla passion, and I understand where he's coming from. All right, let us move in the program now. All right, so when we see Matthew Samuda came out, this is the corruption in terms of what Matthew, the signal that Matthew Samuda is sending, you know, right? Let me tell you something, Jamaica. Matthew Samuda, right, is also giving the signal to us, right, that the FID is not doing anything. So he wants to, he prefer now the FID. You want to see the art of corruption? With this piece of trash. This piece of trash, Matthew Samuda, right? Now, here it is, right? The reason why he wants the integrity, the FID to start to look on the Prime Minister or the statutory declaration of the Prime Minister is because of Dennis Strong perception. This is Dennis Strong perception. Look, Jamaica people. Nothing unusual about Prime Minister, many bank accounts, saying financial analysts. This is what the man is saying, people. The financial analyst Dennis Strong says there is nothing unusual or irregular about Prime Minister Andrew Holness being connected to 28 bank accounts. Have you heard the man that head feed previously what he said? What is he saying now? Looking at the evidence. What is he saying now? What Dennis Strong is saying now when the Prime Minister put $713,000 in Citibank, right? And in the same time, during the same window, what are you saying when the Prime Minister also put $470 million in various accounts in NCB? What do you have to say now? So we can understand where Matthew is going, you understand? Because guess what? The head of FID, right, is a political activist. Is corrupted. But guess what? Even also, you cannot come out and vindicate him. Let me talk. Let me just take a call. Yes, caller, you're on Mystic Sensation Live. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mystic.
Good afternoon, my dear.
How are you? Everyone in the chat, I'm telling you, today is Friday, a day of empowerment. Lady Osborne has empowered us more.
Talk to us, sister.
You know, the thought of this man, Matthew Samuda.
Horrible.
You have to look at, we said what an exposure the man, I think they're going to ask him what was he thinking. Because when the man exposed the whole GLP cabinet and administration, it is like, I know no man do this. This is Almighty God doing. Honestly, man know how that the power to make that the man the leg on him out.
I like how you're coming across, sister. I like it. It is much a judgment on them. Judgment on them.
Mystic. Then you know what take you up on top of it too. They thought they were doing something. Charles Jr. in the committee, oversight committee, when he attacked the IC, when he used the word prosecution and persecution. Let me ask you something. If you did not have an intention, the intention to attack the IC by using prosecution and persecution in it, and the only two person into that committee where we see was oversight committee was Lady Burke and Dr. I think it's Dr. Campbell, that
yes.
said to him, question him about his general chatting to start the committee. He was saying it is other business because he realized that he has blundered again. Two of them blundered for the same thing. Listen now, praise be to Almighty God that it's not from just full mouth or others who are of the same mind mouth. It is from their own mouth. Because they are attacking the IC, the Integrity Commission, and they're blatantly doing it. And I say for myself, this is of my opinion, our eyes is down on the ground, open up, but the great eye and the power open up all that we are, not just locally and internationally, and confirm the GLP, the two MP, confirm their intention and all that they're doing to destroy the reputation and the credibility and the clout of the IC Commission, Integrity Commission. And now they're telling us now, you know what is prosecution? They're implying that it's a personal thing, because anytime somebody persecute you, it's a personal thing.
Exactly.
If it's a body, like it's a religious one, if it's a affiliation, but this is government.
Yes.
So who have the power to persecute government? You see, so demand them not in a sense, and they're exposing themselves because he is under investigation. Because if somebody come out so strongly, he mystic. No, most because you have to be sore foot. No, because you take off he's sitting off a sore foot and he say, ouch. And he ball out. That's the truth. He's under investigation.
And you're perfectly right, my sister. You're perfectly right.
Come on now.
You're perfectly right.
Yes.
Right? And the thing is, let me say this to you.
Junior too, because trying to bring to committee or on a vote to put in what they want to change it to FID.
All right.
You see, because we talk about FID, you remember, because we talk about the IC, it's not which one we did us about? Say it's not audit the court. I remember we were saying the court is not an auditing firm.
Yes.
Now we come back to come back to if you have put 2 to 2 and 2 to 2. See, then come back now when I say they want FID, because in the FID it is something to investigate the accounting. You see, but FID is not for parliamentarian, is it?
No.
It's not for the parliamentarian. FID it is for companies and people that is using the Jamaican economy or anything into the Jamaican then company to wash in fraudulent or what you call it, in criminal with money and sitting in Jamaica.
Yes.
So can the FID, may I ask a question before me go with my thought?
Yes.
Can the FID investigate anything that this government, these cabinet ministers are those parliamentary civil servants and all that they submit their statutory declaration? Because it's a statutory declaration that they submitted, right?
Yes.
That come up with something that the IC would have said, listen, you send $50 to say you wash your ear with your hairdresser, we just use it. And the $50 doesn't add up for what you said you do for the hairdresser. Could you give us the hairdresser address and all that? And we need to verify.
All right, but
this way you say $50 for the hairdresser. So I go.
You're well said, my sister, but let me say this to you. Remember that the FID operating under the umbrella of the Minister of Finance. Right? Remember that the FID operating under the Minister of Finance. The FID carry a wider scope, right, in terms of investigation than the IC, right? So the FID have a, you know, a greater authority in terms of a wider investigation, right? Now, but the question,
yes,
the investigation that the Integrity Commission had done and send it over to the FID so that the FID can explore, right, do more deep dive, right? If you notice what has been happening, Andrew only sent Geico Lizard over there, so you are not hearing anything. What it seems like Geico Lizard is doing is the process of stalling, delaying tactics. So it just seems like the FID is not touching anything. And Matthew Samuda, right, would have given us some insight into that when he's saying that, okay, right, the responsibility as it relates to the IC looking over the statutory declaration of the Member of Parliament should now shift to the FID. It is now telling all of us that while Matthew Samuda said that, it is now giving now a light and insight into the FID where Dennis Strong is concerned. So the question, so Dennis Strong, you have gotten the report, right, for more than going partially a year or more than a year. Now the question that we are asking Geico Lizard, based on what Matthew said, right, we want to know where's the status of the investigation and if there was anything over there, right, to vindicate the Prime Minister, right? Geico Lizard would have vindicated the Prime Minister. Geico Lizard would have matched up that. But if Geico Lizard cannot come out at this point in time, right, and categorically vindicate the Prime Minister, it is telling me and you as a critical thinker that no, something is wrong. Something is wrong.
So Mystic,
yes.
You listen, you see, you're not easy, because Mystic, if that's the case, then and Dennis Strong is at that, whether it's a chartered accountant or a certified general accountant, that tells us that he does not, when he said he doesn't see anything, did the Prime Minister submit the information, the collaborated information for all those years that he cannot be certified because he hasn't submitted the things they're asking him for.
Hold on the sister, because you just lick the ball there, you clear the feeling. It's a 6 that you're just giving. It's a 6 you just lick over the stadium there. Right, the ball is gone for 6. Now, sister.
All right.
Sister, that question that you ask is the pivotal point. Right?
Yes.
Now, based on the time that the information was given by the Integrity Commission for FID, right, to do their investigation, can FID come out? Can FID come out and categorically state that, okay, all right, the Prime Minister had brought in the necessary document, right, that the IC was requiring, and in extension, what FID is now requiring, the Prime Minister had now brought to bear, right, the necessary documentation, and everything is fine now and fine and dandy, and so then we have to now go ahead and certify, right, the Prime Minister's statutory declaration. My sister, then can't do it.
Exactly.
Them can't do it.
Strong say he not see nothing. The Prime Minister no submit nothing yet.
Okay.
That is why what weekly submit the things them when they asking for and it still doesn't match up. Example, the rental income. Let's use the rental income when we use. We don't know if it's true, but we read it in different platform and different areas. There is a question about the rental income, and there is things that you call when you're keeping rental income. You have people like a tenancy list, and then the amount. So if you increase it or decrease it, there's a paper trail. So nobody no fool as a accountant because say you is an investigator and you have all the credentials. Look, Penny. So that is why if you do a transposition, whether it is theoretically or actually data-wise, the big question mark there, it doesn't add up. It can't balance. So you cannot say it is because if the balance sheet doesn't balance, if the liability which you have, when you come to liability assets, is equal to liability plus owner's equity. So if you owner's equity and if you can withdraw as much as you want, you have to show it in your cash flow, in all of that to show how much you take, what you buy from this, what you spend it on. This is so much to accounting. So if he's an accountant and he's in there in the FID and these guys are run over there, it's nothing to do with the numbers then. It is to do with in there that is blocking the result that needs to be done for the Jamaican people of a clean and clear rule person in the government doing their business. Me gone back a class.
Blessings, my sister. Blessings, my sister. Right? That's why I love when she called, you know, man. When she called, she hit the nail right off of the head. Now, very good. Right? Because, right, let us go back to what our sister said. Right? Now, during that period of time between the Integrity Commission investigators handed over the report to the FID. Now, we are asking the FID, right, has Andrew Holness submitted, right, any documentation to clarify, right, the request as it relates to what the IC was requesting? How is it? What is the status? Right? FID, have you gotten the necessary information from Andrew Holness and so now you can clear him? Obviously not. Obviously not. It is telling us that there is no form of documentation that the Prime Minister submitted, you understand, that can vindicate him. So obviously, FID, you need to proceed and have the Prime Minister charged. From all indications, what it is telling us, you cannot come out and say, okay, all right. Based on the investigation, right, and the document being requested, the Prime Minister, right, had brought in the necessary documents, right, we look over them and we clarify, we verify that, okay, all right, there is nothing to see here. There's a nothing burger here, right? You cannot come out and say that. And here the reason why you cannot come out and say that, because you're biased. This is it now. Holness association with the accounts, including loan, monetary savings, and investment-related accounts, was among the findings of the Integrity Commission IC investigative report on the financial affairs of the Prime Minister. There has been speculation on social media about whether the accounts associated with Holness are unusual. And at press conference last week, senior member of the opposition People's National Party questioned why the Prime Minister would need to have 28 bank accounts. Come on, why the Prime Minister would need to have 28 bank accounts? Right, the opposition asks the right question. The opposition asks the right question. But Chang, listen now, and this is what now caused Chang to get the job. This is why I'm going back to this. This is what, this paragraph here is what Andrew Holness cited and said, okay, I am going to give Dennis Strong, right, the job. This is what Dennis Strong said people to get the job at FID. But Strong, a chartered accountant with a solid track record in finance, says it's not extraordinary that 28 accounts are associated with the Prime Minister, who has had multiple business during his almost 30 years in public life. Open quote. I don't think it's irregular to have 28 bank accounts. Like seriously? Like seriously? How can you not think it's not irregular to have 28 bank accounts when you have seen... All right. Now, let me teach you something now, Dennis Strong. Let me teach you something now, Dennis Strong, to show you that absolutely what you say here is bullshit. Let me say it clear. Okay. Here why you shouldn't make the statement that I don't think it's irregular to have 28 bank accounts. All right. Now, if you investigating the Prime Minister and the Prime Minister have 28 bank accounts and you see some of these accounts in NCB, right? 470 million total in various accounts. And when you look on the Prime Minister's statutory declaration, Dennis Strong, may I talk to you as an investigator? I am talking to you as an investigator. You see $470 million from 2020 to 2023. They run through Andrew Holness, right? Various accounts. And you go back and you look at the statutory declaration where the Prime Minister submitted between the same 2020 and 2023. And the Prime Minister only submitted 200 million. Let me ask a question, Dennis Chung. Something wrong with that? You don't find a variance in that? You don't see the obvious variance? You are sick out of your head. So obviously, if the Prime Minister submitted only 200 million between 2018 to 2022, and between the same period, right? The Prime Minister show you say $470 million in an NCB when I tell, let me just take this caller because y'all get me grieved, Dennis Strong. Yes, caller, you're on Mystic Sensation Live. Please go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, caller, you're on Mystic Sensation Live. Please go ahead.
Yes. Mystic.
Yes.
Because
yes, my dear.
What I'm saying, it's based on everything that's going on with the Prime Minister.
Yes.
It's like him crip and cramp everybody, tear them off, so him corrupt the whole system in Jamaica.
All right, hold on the system.
Right now,
all right, hold on the system. I understand what you are saying, but let me say this to you, right? And we'll go push back a little bit just to, right, to give you some awareness. Him can crimp and cramp everybody. Because let me tell you something, we there in a social media and feed, anyhow feed can't vindicate him, my sister. And with a feed one hole in the air, you understand, until the People's National Party take over, it's fine. It's fine with us. But feed, based on what we have, sister, you understand? Me no, and look, sister, listen to me. More you listen to your host. You understand? More you have the confidence in me. You understand? Me nah let you know down. When me tell you something, me nah let you know down. Me nah let you know down. Here what me I tell you. Here what Mystic Sensation. Feed can't vindicate him. And I ask them that.
Yeah.
So talk to me, my sister. Talk to me.
I know two hopes I have. The people them. I just hope that they are waking up and know so we have to take this to the street. Unite. This is not about no JLP, PMP. You understand? This is about Jamaica. And also, we can just bang on the fact that we hope Trump lose so that the Democrats can take over. Because
very good point.
Democrats take over now. Hell and powder house.
Very good point, sister. What, sister? You know geopolitics, man. You know geopolitics. Anyhow, Trump lose. Anyhow, Trump lose November election. Me they tell us him. All right.
And listen to me now. I want to tell us only the Jews them behind him right now.
All right. Talk with him, sister.
Yeah.
Talk
so
with him,
right
sister.
now, anyhow, him get lick out, man. Hell and powder house, man.
Okay.
Hell and powder house. So we just hope and pray, you know?
Exactly.
And hold on to faith.
Hold on to faith, sister.
It's so annoying for you know say so many people are suffering and struggle since Hurricane Melissa, and this man have so much money, so much bank account, and the people them at Jamaica suffer. And guess where where them are do to? I raise up the insurance, so you know, and this ticket business take off pint and Jesus have mercy.
Look here.
He must come out, man. We don't need him, man.
But sister,
not good to the country.
Sister, remember, you know, you have been following me for quite some time, and you remember me always that tell you say the man are 100% evil. So you never believe me.
Listen, me never yet have no likes for this man, you know. Me can't stand him, you know, because if I look on him, I say he's no good, you know. Him is just a con artist.
Criminal.
And I don't know exactly, and I don't know why some of the people them where get tricked, why them so licky. If they can't pan them belly and lie down pan them, why they can't wake up?
And they love the 5,000, and then love the they love the 5,000, the pack of cigarette and the boom. That's what they love. The 5,000.
You know. So me know Michael Manley management, me know PJ Pattis management, so me know say the country, you understand, underneath the PMP leadership, me know say the country did nice, and anytime Labour Party take over the country, it's a wreck and a disaster and pure corruption.
All right, my sister. Right, love your love your input.
Just go and do your thing, man.
Blessings.
You know, push the strength, same
all right.
All right?
All right, my sister. Blessings.
All right, cool.
All right. Now, these are the type of cars that energize me, you know, and that's what I tell you say. Mystic Sensation in the space, right? And you know, a couple of us right, in the space, right? Trust me, let me tell you something. Jamaica, don't worry, because you have some platforms here in the space that them can't grow and we have pushback. Remember, you have the Portland Spice, right? The PD TV, right? The Mystic Sensation, the Wayne Lonesome, right? The Anessa Bell Rose, the Attack for the Press, the Talk Your Mind. Yes, Carla, you're on Mystic Sensation Live. Please go ahead.
Yes.
Blessings, my brother. Talk to us. Talk to us.
Yeah, man. I've been here from the outset of the program.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have something to go and I might have to leave shortly.
Yes, talk to us.
Listen, Miss Osborne and the other callers. You know, one thing, Professor?
Yes.
Is that there seems to be a sort of awakening of the Jamaican people.
Yes, I get that too. I get that too.
Yeah, some people are starting to realize
yes,
that happens in the country in a general way is more important than PNP or JLP.
Well said, my brother. Well said.
You know, and I tell you, I lift my hat to you, Melting Pot.
Thank you.
And there are some other people who are on YouTube, like Hot Off of the Press, ABR, Mr. Lonesome. You know, I lift my hat to you people because you are raising this level of awareness. Listen, sir, I'm a pretty old man, you know.
Thank you.
And my experience, 3 times we see this country reach on the edge of the abyss. And I don't remember, no how many will remember, because maybe I'm older than most of you guys. But in the late 1960s, 68, 69, they make our music say everything crashed.
Yes.
It was popular in dancehall at the time. But then I was like a senior teenager.
Yes.
And then Mr. Michael, I had some experience with Norman before because Norman Manley was the man who come to Jamaica and all of those old colonial properties that were going to be sold out and the itinerant the tenants that were there would be cast off.
Yeah.
I at a place in Trelawney where Norman Manley came through and said, no, can't work, so we are the people going to go if you sell out the world is up here, said mass. They've been here for years. And
exactly.
Because of our people in my area and it's part of South Trelawney, they have become land, well, they know themselves owners, landholders, but they are permanent residents there and nobody can get them out. At the time there, every civil servant in Jamaica was on strike. Fireman, nurse, police, teacher. And that's why they made this out there, everything crashed.
Everything crashed, yes.
We come to another point like that in the 2000s. When the JLP government took over and when they lost the election, the country was down on its face that Portia Simpson nearly had to go on her knees to the IMF to get some money for redeem the country and take it out of the world. Okay?
Yes, man. You're correct, man. You're on point. You're on point, man. You're on point.
They did that, and DJ come and them pay off the IMF debt. We never owed nobody 1 cent, and the country was left on a level road. JLP come back, and they mash you up again. You understand? And you see right now, sir, if Jamaicans don't come to their senses and really get a grasp and an appreciation of what's taking place in our country.
Yes. But let me provide you, Makala, let me provide you a little hope, right? Because gone are the days when we were not in social media and the Jamaica Labour Party gotten away with their propaganda. Right, and they're all conventional politics. They're dinosaurial politics. Right, it's a new era now, and we are holding them. We are holding them account. Remember, you know, right, as it relates to social media, right, get into right the meat of the matter. Right, here it is that we have the People's National Party, right, came through from 14 to 28, and we know that the election was stolen from them. There's no two-way about it, and that's one of the reasons why when I heard people talking about, okay, all right, what Mark Golden should do better, or what the PNP could have done better. The PNP cannot do anything better if the election was stolen from them. So, I mean, I don't understand their argument. When you have the election stolen, the election stolen. The election stolen. So then to say that what the PNP can do better, and what do you mean what the PNP can do better? The election was stolen.
And let me tell you something, sir. I don't read this anywhere, but from my opinion and knowing what took place in the past, I see this administration pushing the opposition and trying to entrap them so they can declare a state of emergency and lock away the opposition. That is what they are pushing for. I see that. So when people talk about the opposition should do this, they must realize that the opposition, the elected members of the PNP cannot go out there and advocate for demonstrations, especially if...
All right, hold on the caller, because I need to expound on that in terms of education. I'm glad you're mentioning, you're making mention of that, right? And sometimes I wonder what really the people are requesting, because when you have the opposition, seems like, right, the opposition is going out there and to lead, right? Because the GLP would quickly turn it to say, okay, the opposition is leading a rebellion against them.
Yes.
Right? So people need to understand as it relates to when you have the people, it is the people who are supposed to lead that. Right? And Conrad, hold on, caller, because Conrad is calling me, and I know that Conrad wants to participate. All right, let me take in Brother Conrad call, because Conrad wants to participate in this.
Just finish with the caller.
All right, so caller, let me just take your final input, and then we put Conrad on the line, right?
Okay. I like this discussion because they have moved my eyes in so many ways.
All right.
As much as I'm a senior person, so I'm just going to sit back.
Yes.
And learn from what Brother Conrad has to say.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Yes. Fireman, talk to us. From once you call back, we know something bring you back.
Yeah, man. By the way, that's excellent interview there with Sister K. Osborne.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, but I want to weigh in now, just and listen to your last caller here.
Yes.
I must say that I disagree.
Okay, speak to us.
I disagree. You see, one of the things, my brother, there's a saying here in Jamaica that if you're afraid of egg, you can't eat egg.
Yes.
So, anywhere in the world, your opposition have to lead the process of basically bringing the third man, in a case, the 12th man. In a case of cricket, we use the 12th man, bringing the 12th man on the field. So the government, the opposition is out there, but they must put whatever they have to galvanize and to bring the people with them. Obviously, we're not talking about Mark Golden to go out there and go turn up in front of Jamaica House and burn down Jamaica House and all sorts of things. But everywhere, and our constitution basically give us that fundamental right of peaceful protest.
Yes,
in every democracy in the world. The United States of America prides itself as the bastion, the #1 democracy. And every day you see protests across the length and breadth of America, basically protests against something to do with the government, right? Right now in countries, you have people who are taking the street in millions. What we must do, we must urge our people to remind them that here what happened. A protest is going to take place. You need to adhere. The police and the security forces are going to be out there, not to abuse, but certainly to ensure that there is a peaceful coexistence out there. So I believe fervently that the time has come that the opposition has to join the fray and not be coy, but out there front and center in leading process. Here is something now where civil society is out there. So the opposition have a lot of backing at this time with civil society. I do agree with you that based on anecdotal situation, anecdotal evidence, there seems to have been some great amount of hanky-panky that may have taken place in some constituencies, you know, such as voting suppression, etc., etc., etc.
Yes.
So maybe there was just some seed there that was sought a little hard. I must also say, Byron, that what happened, I believe that in some cases too, the opposition, the PNP organization could be a little tighter. And I know I say from a position of knowledge, right? I say from a position of knowledge. There are some things that could have been tighter. I believe that a number of our people maybe were measuring the cloth of their office window before we won the election was over, and there was a little lapse there. There's a little lapse there. I still believe, and this is not so much of a criticism, but an observation. I still believe that had we had a concentrated general secretary, and the PNP had a concentrated general secretary, right? Just concentrating on the election. Not having to be fighting a tough seat. I believe that could have paid a little bit more dividend. As I said, I'm not criticizing the gentleman. I'm just making an observation. I believe that with the double role that he played, he navigated very, very well. But I'm of the firm opinion that had it been a situation where the GS was able, because when you have, let's say you have a seat, that there are some issues brewing there, and you need some tightening up. Your general secretary would hunker down on that in a big way. But remember now in that Dayton had a seat that he was in trouble as well initially to settle down. You know, even the former member of parliament, who was a PNP member of parliament, put out early in the piece that he was going to run independent, talking about Luther Buchanan and so on. So there was a lot of things there. But I believe that right now, if you traverse the social media space, the call is getting louder and louder, and more people are much more vociferous, because that is also a part of the community that is now adding their voice to this protest without being out there on the street. As you pointed out to Mr. K, Sister K. Osborne, when you look at the various platforms and you see the amount of followership and so on, the amount of various media that carried, and instructively, the Times that pick up the story. So it's got international traction. International traction. And remember that out of all of this, our brother Beckford, Patrick Beckford, penned the letter to Booker and two other persons to basically look at these things. So it's taking got a lot of traction.
A lot of traction,
You know, I believe Byron, yourself here, you're doing human service. We all add to the fabric, and we're hoping and praying
Thank you.
That more and more Jamaicans at home will chime in.
Exactly.
With the additional protests on that K. Osborne talk about. We have to send a message. This is not about parties and politics. What we're talking about in Byron, and our people need to get this in our head. JLP, PNP, no P. We are not talking party politics. We're talking about governance issue. This is governance. Had it been the PNP in office and behaving this way,
well said.
No difference. It will be no difference in terms of how we are to go at these things or should go at these things. And as the night follow the day, the PNP will form government.
Exactly.
So judge us when the PNP is in office, because the PNP are going with them for Mark Gold in office for much years and not certified, and we will keep our mouth. We're crazy.
And hold on, Conrad. And I'm glad you mentioned that. Right, because all right, if someone asks me as it relates to my political preference, right, the whole world know by now that okay, all right, I'm a PNP person as it relates to Michael Manleyites, as it relates to the political philosophy of democratic socialism. But as you mentioned, hold on, Conrad. We are all socialists. But as you mentioned, Conrad, right? Can we? Right, because we are okay, all right. We are that so-called Manleyites. We are unable, or we are incapacitated, right, in terms of not giving a fair, right, comment on a situation. No, right, because we are here, and as what Conrad said, that I mean, if Mark Golan is there, and his statutory declaration cannot be certified, as a matter of fact, 1 year, and he has a problem. No, Conrad, you and I not going to allow Mark Golan to go 2 years. Come on, Conrad. No, knowing the Manleyites who we are. Knowing the Manleyites who we are. So I want to, on that point, Conrad, I am going to speak to you now, Conrad. When you have the Prime Minister, let us talk to the people in Conrad. When you have the Prime Minister for our country, and the primary responsibility of our Prime Minister is to protect the citizenry. That is the primary responsibility of the Prime Minister, right? But yet you have the Prime Minister whose statutory declaration cannot be certified because of the monies that the Prime Minister so-called generated, right? Disappropriated to his income, assets, and liabilities. And here it is, as an anti-corruption system, pointing out these issues. The Prime Minister now is galvanizing and campaigning, right, as it relates to the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee. And when you look at that, Conrad, you have seen someone there who had now been processed by the Integrity Commission investigators, put into the judiciary, found guilty, and the Prime Minister doubled down in saying that, okay, this person is going to be placed on the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee. You understand? To provide oversight to you. What is your take on that, Conrad? I want to hear a take on that.
No, I opine on that sometime, but I'll do so here. And I say it without any water in my mouth, without fear of successful contradiction. Marissa Dalrymple Filbert, or Behir, as Dahe Wakala said, that's her name, should keep her mouth shut because she belongs nowhere near the parliament unless she's invited to be there or as a guest or she's passing by. She should not be there. So for the Prime Minister to now place her and that body is a part of the piling of disrespect for the Jamaican citizenry. And it's the Prime Minister is actually throwing dirty water in our faces.
Exactly.
That's what is happening. The Prime Minister is showing us that, listen, I have no regard for no. Me a ruler. Only take on yourself and go ahead.
Me a bro God.
Right? That is the message being sent, and anybody who or have a modicum of decency to look at these things, no matter how green you are, or how orange you are, or how blue or non-colored you are, you can see these things. First thing to begin with, my brother, even the weighing in of Mafia Samuda yesterday, Matthew not carry that message on him one.
No.
That's not a message that carried by Matthew on him one. It's a position that is taken by the cabinet and by the Jamaica Labour Party and the JP government.
But Conrad, I want you to reword that. Yes. That's a position that's taken by the old breed of politicians. That's why I want the new breed.
Absolutely. Hail to the Queen of the South. Hail to the League of Blessed Northeast Setters. Hail to Alfred Dawes. Hail to all of those new breed. And indeed, you know what is that? What is important?
Yes.
It's also worth observing. Those members within the PNP, the opposition, who have been there for a long time, who could describe as veterans, they are adapting, or they have adopted the posture of new breed, because they are not into the melee and the stupidity that is taking place. My friend, I reiterate again, as I did early in the piece, the Prime Minister is saying to Jamaica that he was lied to by his minister whose responsibility for technology, Dr. Andrew Wheatley. That's what the Prime Minister is actually saying to us, you know. He said he was not aware that he was under investigation, even when he said to us that he asked, no PM, 1 PM. If you ask your cabinet members, you're a member of parliament, and you have been lied to say DI was not under investigation, and the end of it all, the person knew he was under investigation. What should you do 1 PM?
Okay. All right.
Or let me throw that question out to your listeners. You can win, type in the chat, or call and tell Mystic, what should 1 PM do when he recognized that member of his cabinet lied to him, who he said that he asked far and wide and near, and he came up with no answer? What should be?
Exactly. Yes. Conrad, Fireman, don't leave me yet, man. Don't leave me yet. Right? I don't want you just hurry and just run off, so you know. Fireman, I want to take. All right. Fireman, you have done accounts, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay, all right. So let you and I now speak to certain issues relating to the Prime Minister. Right? Okay. All right. Number one, the Prime Minister deposited $713,000 in Citibank, right? Between the period 2021 to 2023, and where it went into Citibank 2021 and was updated in Citibank 2023. So it has been there 2 years, right? Okay, all right. So that is just one item. Let us move to the second item. In the same window of investigation between the period 2020 to 2022, the Prime Minister statutory declaration as it relates to what he had given to the Integrity Commission investigators. In 2022, the Prime Minister said his total income, assets, and liabilities is $200 million. No, all right. So that is 2. Let us go to 3. Now, number 3. we see where, as it relates to the forensic investigators, highlighted that within the same window, 2020 to 2023, the Prime Minister submitted, right, through various accounts, deposited through various accounts, $470 million. All right, all right. Now, Conrad, let us, you and I, go to the Prime Minister's statutory declaration, right, and to the reality of what the investigation is carrying out. The Prime Minister said that, okay, all right, in 2022, right, is income, assets, and liability is $200 million. But we have seen $470 million, right, running through NCB, and we have seen also $713,000. When you look at that, Conrad, what is your take on it? I'm not even going to lead you in anything. What is your take on it?
Absolutely. The Integrity Commission would have to flag that, because the Prime Minister would be duty-bound to provide to the Integrity Commission how he came about having those funds. And what the Integrity Commission is saying is that, listen, the Prime Minister cannot provide those information accurately. And that is why, that is what put the Prime Minister in a pickle. That is it, you know.
Pickle or conundrum? Pickle or conundrum?
Both.
Okay.
Both. You know, because you remember that what happened, the Integrity Commission is going by what they have on paper. And when they drill down, as you mentioned accounts, right? You're doing a bank recon, right?
Yes.
Bank reconciliation.
Bank recon, yes.
Therefore, you have to basically account for all the things that you pick up as it goes through the accounts. Because if you are out by any figure, you're not going to balance.
Exactly, sir.
Balance.
Exactly.
You have to find, by basic, what was it? Frankwood accounts book, which show me that at O level, right?
Yes.
Or Fabel, whichever one of them. So it is important that we have to think. We have to use the Integrity Commission is not just picking up something out of a hat and flag it like that. It is something, they have the documentation. In addition to that, as I understand it, once something comes up, the investigation would go to the source, go to the person, go to the source, and basically query that source and carry through their investigation.
You're
and
correct.
That would form a part of their finding as well.
Mm-hmm.
That is why the former justice, I'm reiterating, and chairman of the commission, former chairman of the commission, Justice Panton, remind Jamaica that whatever they put out there is grounded on facts. It's not just something that they pick out of a hat.
Exactly.
So it boggles the mind, my friend. And you know, there's sometimes you know, in Jamaica we have a thing where them say you buck, that means you reach the end of the road. I think the Prime Minister buck right now.
But all right, look at this. Let us, for our argument's sake, you know, for our listeners, right? Let us probe the 713,000 that the Prime Minister have been Citibank, and the Prime Minister respond, right, to that situation, saying that, you know, it was a mistake. It was, you know, 700,000 Jamaican dollars, right, that should have been there, and the bank made a mistake. No, Conrad, no, let you and I talk on that in terms of what the Prime Minister said, that was a mistake. When you look on the account, right, how could it be a mistake and it is in the bank for 2 years?
My friend, I know all I will say to you that all Jamaicans are hoping that the bank would make all Jamaicans Jamaicans are hoping that the bank would make that mistake for them. The Prime Minister was quite fortunate.
All right, Conrad. So I mean, it's crazy, right? It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's
all right, my brother. Big up yourself.
Praise the most.
All right, listen. And people, remember, you know, Conrad, hold on there before you go. Right, again, tell the people the time them when you come on, because I want the people them support you, you know. Please, my people who have not yet subscribed to Conrad, please do, because these are the stations. When we talk about a Conrad O'Brien, and we talk about a Portland Spice, and we talk about a Wheel Lonesome, we talk about a PD TV, right? These are the programs that you need to engage with, right? So state the thing again.
Young Ishmael is up now with Deeper TV.
Oh yes, sorry. And hold on, Conrad. Hold on, Conrad, because remember, you know, we have some solid people out there too, you know. Because we talk about Perry, we not talk about Perry. You understand? Perry, I do an excellent job out there too, right? Deep dive, right? Doing a decent job. People, you have to stay close with these platforms. Don't miss them. Support them. Give them the energy. That is how we are going to build. You understand? So who have not yet subscribed to Conrad, right? Just do the thing, right? Go over there. You understand? Subscribe. Yeah. So later thing, Conrad.
Yeah, man. So of course my YouTube channel is Conrad OB the Fireman. One word. Conrad, that's CONRAD OB DA the Fireman. That's the channel. And indeed, of course, I broadcast on mainstream radio at Sleek Radio 93 FM. So in Jamaica, you can listen to me on your FM band, where we pick up. I don't think we are all across the island, but that is work in progress. But persons can also tune in to us at www.sleekradio.com and www.sleekradio.com on Mondays to Thursday from 9 a.m. to midday. That's from 9 a.m. to midday. And of course, the place where we speak truth to power, no matter who the guy is. The name of the program is At the National Level. Formally straight up, the name has changed with the rebranding, and it's now At the National Level, where we go to the heart of the matter.
Yes. And Conrad, hold on, Conrad, and let me talk to you. Make sure, say, whenever you sign in, check your chat, you know. Because the other day when me sign in and I listen, you understand? Me not hear nothing. Check your chat. Make sure so you do that. Check your chat, sir.
All right. Yes. I must tell you that I came under heavy beating from my listeners.
I'm not gonna beat you too, man. I'm gonna beat you too.
I was derelict. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Bless up, sir.
It's still there, and we deal with it. So blessings.
Bless up, sir. All right. So when my sister call, I know when my sister call, I love. All right. Let me tune into my sister.
All right.
Yes, my sister. You're on Mystic Sensation Live. Go ahead.
Hi, Byron. How you doing?
How you doing, my lovely sister? Boy, me say when you call my glad bug boss, you know.
Really?
Yes, man.
Well, I've been watching you tonight, and it was nice to have Miss Kay on the show.
Yes.
I know she's doing the rounds.
Yes.
And advocacy is very impressive.
Thank you.
And I hope that she can share her skills and experience with others. Because she does say that she's no longer as young as she has, she hasn't got the energy that she used to have, but she has the passion for it, which is very good. But I know you're going to be wrapping up, looking off soon, or winding up soon. But I just wanted to play devil advocate with you tonight, Byron.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Just to put some things in perspective, right?
Exactly.
In reference to the minimum wage in Jamaica, it is a legal limit.
Yes.
And people should see it as such. Yeah?
Yes.
So no employer can legally pay beneath 17,000 a week. Yeah? It's a legal limit.
Yes.
Okay, right. But I'm looking at how Jamaica can move forward. Yeah? Okay, the people in Jamaica can move forward. Now, I think that Jamaicans need to take a step back to say, look, at the end of the day, the first problem that Jamaica has is the strength of their currency. The strength of their dollar.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah? Okay? Right? The dollar is weak.
Yes,
Yeah?
that's true.
Right? So they shouldn't be looking to say what a person gets paid in the US compared to what a person gets paid in Canada to what a person gets paid in the UK, because your currency is weak.
Yes.
Yeah? Right? So that's the first thing. How are they going to work towards strengthening the value of their currency?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? That's the first step, right? Now,
yes.
I'm an advocate of education. Now, the thing is that one of the things that happens is that there's a lot of Jamaicans that leave Jamaica, okay, and they do go to other countries, you know, whether in the Caribbean, outside the Caribbean, and so forth, yeah? But it's about, if you want to get paid a better salary, yeah, what are you doing to get paid a better salary?
Yes.
Yeah? Because we know, Byron, that, you know, in countries that we live in, yeah, whether it be Canada, US, England, whatever, yeah, an employer pays you based on your skill set, your experience, your qualifications.
Yes.
Yeah? Right? That is a foundation.
Yes.
Yeah? If you don't have that foundation, yeah, usually you're going to pick up jobs that is minimum pay.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
Okay? Yeah, but at the same time, we have to put things in perspective. Now, I don't know if anyone's ever looked at it, yeah? Do you know what the UK Prime Minister gets paid as a salary? Have you ever looked at it, Byron?
No, I haven't. Can you update us?
If you Google
yes.
the pay of the UK Prime Minister, remember, the pound is a strong currency, yeah?
Yes.
Right? We have a population of roughly just over 17 million, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
We have over 600 MPs in our parliament.
Yes.
Yeah? Right? And I can tell you, Byron, yeah, that the UK Prime Minister gets paid £179,000 a year. Yeah?
Yes.
Now, if you were to work that out into Jamaican money, just say £215 to the dollar. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay? To the pound. Yeah? So for £1, you get 215 Jamaican dollars.
Yes.
The UK Prime Minister is making about 38 million Jamaican dollars.
Mm-hmm.
What does the Prime Minister of Jamaica get paid?
Roughly about 28 million.
Right.
But,
so
hold on, caller. If we are to use that formula that you are using, and
yes.
based on what we are looking on in terms of the population that the UK
yes.
Prime Minister is responsible
yes.
for, in terms of the population
yes.
that the Jamaican Prime Minister responsible for, you would now just look that the Prime Minister is actually getting roughly about 200% more than the UK Prime Minister.
Well, exactly, Byron. And this is what I'm saying. I don't know how he justifies his salary, yeah? Because at the end of the day, yeah, our parliament has over 600 MPs, yeah, okay? You're the Prime Minister of the country, remember it's 3 countries in that, okay?
Yes.
So you've got England, you've got Scotland, you've got Wales, okay, and we've got Northern Ireland. Yeah, okay?
Yes.
Right? We've got a population of over 70 million. Yeah? And our Prime Minister, right, when you work it out in Jamaican dollars, right, okay, is getting 10 million more a year than a Jamaican Prime Minister. How can that be?
This is what I'm saying. And it goes to show you. It goes to show you.
So what is happening is that, think about the currency value, yeah? Think about, you know, it's got the 63 MPs, you've got the Senate and what have you, okay. How on earth can the Jamaican Prime Minister be putting in a salary, right, based on your economy, the strength of your dollar, okay? It is ridiculous.
And when let me ask you, what is the GDP per capita as it relates to UK in comparison to Jamaica?
I would have to Google it, right? Okay, but you know, it's hold on, we can Google it. I'd have to Google it. GDP
So,
for the UK per capita.
Yes.
It is okay. So they say, oh, this is in dollars, right? Okay. So they've got the nominal GDP per capita. United Kingdom is projected to be approximately I think this is dollars. Okay, so it's telling me $61,000, right? $61,000. I think that's in US dollars. I don't know why it's doing that.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
Because I've asked for the UK, yeah?
Yes.
So around about that. Okay, so say about that, yeah? So I'm saying, how can you have a prime minister in Jamaica that's putting an annual salary of 28 million a year, yeah? With a population of what? Well, what's the population size? About 3 million mark?
I would say roughly about 3 million. Yeah, we can give them roughly about 3 million.
Okay, right?
Yes.
And look at the strength of the the currency, right?
Yes.
It's foolishness. Now, if we go back to the ordinary people, yeah, as I mentioned, yeah, it's about having better skills, experience, qualifications to get better paid jobs. Then you have to think about what are the jobs, what jobs are available to them in Jamaica. Yeah, because you've got a lot of people that go to university at great expense to their parents, yeah, and when they come out, where are the jobs?
Hold on. Stop right there because you just engaged into a new arena. Now, the new arena that you have just engaged in, right, in terms of the amount of persons who are graduating from our universities with their degrees, right, and they have no job. Then go back to the TCN situation with Audrey Marks, right, going to United States to seek, right, skilled worker. Right, we don't have the job, right, to absorb skilled worker for our people, to employ our people. Then how are we going to move towards United States and getting skilled worker? You see that it is a word baloney, garbage.
There's many of us that know that what she's talking is a load of rubbish. Okay, right? Because like I say, if you look at what the salary is per capita in the US, okay, right? They're not going to come to Jamaica to work for what the per capita in Jamaica is so 7,000 US?
Just look at that.
Okay, yeah? And I'm just using that loosely. Okay, it's not going to happen, Byron, yeah? But what I'm saying is that I'm not focusing on the TCM because that's a load of rubbish that's going on, yeah? What I'm saying is that, and what people need to understand, because we have it here in the UK as well, Byron, yeah? We have people coming across the English Channel from France, yeah, on inflatable boats.
Yes.
Yeah? They're coming by the hundreds.
Yes.
Right? And we don't know who's entering our country. Now, it's something that I don't think Jamaicans have really experienced, yeah, okay, whilst living in Jamaica. Yeah?
Yes.
When you have uncontrolled immigration, it can devastate communities, right? It can devastate societies because very often when they come in, they do not integrate. Yeah? They don't integrate into your society, and they bring some good cultures, but they also bring some bad cultures as well. Yeah. So what we have here in the UK is that when we've got our doctor offices, our doctors' offices now have to have interpreters that they can call up, because very often they go to the doctors and they can't speak English.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've got to have the GP surgeries, like general practitioner surgeries. They have to be able to call up an interpreter because they've got a patient here that they can't communicate with. Yeah. Right. In the schools, we have to be teaching them English because English is not their first language, right? So who do you think is paying for all of that, Byron?
Exactly.
The taxpayer.
Taxpayers.
The taxpayers are paying for all of that. Yeah? The taxpayers. So, yes, diversity is good, yeah, but you cannot have uncontrolled immigration. And when you have people that are coming into, and Jamaica is an English-speaking country, that's why when Jamaicans come to the UK, they're not required to do an English test, right? Because it's your first language. Yes, I understand about the PAT one, okay, but you are exempt, yeah, for visa purposes, yeah, or settling purposes, yeah.
Exactly.
If you come from a non-English-speaking country where English isn't spoken as a first language, you have to do an English test. right,
Yes.
to come to the UK, right? But you could have people that are entering into the country that they don't speak
Yes.
English,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
So are the interpreters in Jamaica? Is that a profession?
Very good, because you're going to have a language barrier there.
You're going to have a language barrier. Now, I know that,
It's crazy.
you probably have some, don't get me wrong, you probably have people that speak Spanish, yeah, right? Let's face it, Jamaican people can speak different languages, learn things, yeah, okay? But very often, these are the things that people don't understand, yeah? That when people have their different cultures, they have their different languages, they have their different behaviors, I mean, I've never gone to Jamaica and seen women wearing hijabs. We've got women that wear hijabs where they cover up themselves.
Yes.
Yeah. And only their husband should see them. Yeah. So that is a cultural thing.
Yes.
Yeah. You have women that when they have certain religion, they cannot. Don't get me wrong. There are Muslims in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica does have Muslims. Yeah.
Yes.
But they bring different cultures, languages. All of that culture, Byron, yeah,
yes,
which you have to be taken into account. And if you have, and they like to cling to each other, yeah, what I'm saying, Byron, we've got Jamaicans up in the UK, and very often, yes, they're spread out all over the UK, but you have your Jamaican community. You've got it in Canada as well. You've got it in America as well.
Exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah? So they're going to have, you've got the Chinese out there. The Chinese have their own community within Jamaica.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So when you start taking people from different communities, right, okay, like different cultures, right, they're going to set up their own communities within the country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So
yes.
is Jamaica ready for that? Diversifying the country in that way?
It's a no.
Are they ready?
No.
Okay.
All right.
But like I said, Byron, I'm parking that. Yeah. We'll see how it turns out. Yeah.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is that I would like to see Jamaican people be better paid.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. But in order to do that, how do you get to that stage where you are better paid? Yeah. And you've got more private.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the UK, the biggest employer in the UK is the National Health Service. That's
yes.
the biggest employer.
Yes.
Yeah. And that is purely tax funded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I don't know who the biggest employer is in Jamaica, but you've got a lot of private sector people. So when the Prime Minister is talking about he wanted to double minimum wage, do you think it's going to hit the public or the private sector the most?
Well, yeah, and you see, because you're talking about the biggest employer in Jamaica, I think in terms of my awareness, I would have given that to the hotel industry. Right, to be the biggest employer of Jamaica and generate most of the foreign currency. But the problem that we have with that, my sister, is that most of the foreign currency generated is not circulating throughout the Jamaica economy, and that is where we have another problem, a very serious problem.
It
right?
is.
It's a very serious problem.
And I understand, Byron. Because I've been to Jamaica on many occasions, yeah, and sometimes I book all inclusive. Now, I'm booking all inclusive. The plane that brings me to Jamaica is not a Jamaican flight.
Exactly.
Yeah? It's a British company.
Exactly.
Yeah? I pay for my hotel, I pay for my food, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And when I'm at the hotel, I will pay for my excursion. Yeah, okay. But one of the things that the government can do, because I do contracts up here, yeah, okay, they can say to the hoteliers, yeah, that when you employ people and have all of them banded based on their skill set, their experience, what kind of job they do in the hotel, that they have to pay these salaries as minimum.
Yes.
Yeah? Right? That's what they can do.
But apart from that, hold on, my sister. Apart from that, I think that the tourism sector need to deal with more inclusion rather than exclusion. And
I would agree.
Exactly.
I would agree. I absolutely agree.
Okay.
Because I'm telling you, Byron.
Yes.
I've been to several hotels that I won't name, okay, all inclusives in Jamaica, and the entertainment is not Jamaican.
Here you go.
They're bringing their own entertainers from
their
countries. They're usually from Spanish countries or what have you not, that are entertaining in the hotels.
That's a no-no.
Yeah?
That's a no-no.
Right?
But I'm saying that these are the terms and conditions that the government can make with the hotels to say that half of your entertainment, for instance, your staff, okay, must be, even when you go to these hotels, the senior management are not Jamaicans. They're not Jamaicans, right? Okay, the lower bands, right, like those that work in the kitchen, the groundsmen, the cleaners, those are what the jobs of Jamaicans get. You may have some of them that working on the reception, okay? Yes. But when you look at the senior management team, they're not Jamaicans, they're non-Jamaicans.
Oh, come on.
Non-Jamaicans.
Come on.
Yeah?
Right.
So why can't Jamaicans get these jobs?
Exactly.
Bringing in their own management team.
And we have a problem. And then again, if you look even into the Chinese community, because the Chinese community is what take over the retail. But again, the money that they are paying to our Jamaican people doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, but you see, what I'm saying is that I don't know how much. Well, like I said, it's about what kind of negotiation is the government doing with these businesses? Yeah, okay. So I'm not looking at whether they're Chinese or they're run by Jamaican, right? So you've got the minimum wage, which is a legal limit. Yeah, okay. Yeah. That must be paid. Yeah, okay. So, but when you start looking at, if you're going to do a broad brush with every business and say, right, it's not about whether they're Chinese or run by Jamaican, that they have to pay X amount salary for their workers. Yeah. Remember, it's about the affordability of a company. And if you pressure them too much, Byron, they will cut the staff numbers.
Yes.
Yeah? So that is what you've got to be careful of. But when I see, like, you know, in the UK, everyone goes to the petrol station or the gas station, as you call it. Yeah.
Yes.
We pump our own petrol. We don't need no one at the pumps to pump our petrol. Okay.
Exactly.
Right. That's not a skilled job. That's not a skilled job. Then you've got someone, you know, standing at the pump to pump your petrol.
Yes.
No, we come off. We take our backside out of the car and pump our own petrol. Right. When I was in the US, Byron, yeah, I pulled up. I was driving up there, and it was in Florida.
Yes.
When you go to the petrol station.
All right, my sister, hold on. Hold on. Hold on, my sister. I want to make your final point because I have already gone 12 minutes and I am intruding.
I'm just saying that we need to look at what can be done for the people.
Yes.
Yeah, to improve their living standards, to make sure that when they work, they see what they're working for.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay.
Well said, my sister. Love you. All right.
Okay. You too. Take care. Bye.
Blessings. All right. There you go. There you have it, Jamaica. And I want to say thanks to my chat room, right? Thanks to all the people who are tuning in today, right? We really appreciate it and continue to support us. And not just only Mystic Sensation, there are other channels out there that needs the support as well. Please support them, right? Because guess what? At the end of the day, unity is strength. And we all have all hands on deck, right? Together, we are strong. And that is the message that we are sending. Right, my Jamaican people, we want to move forward in terms of galvanizing another march, if it is possible, right? Because we want to say no, we want to push back against the government, right? And to make sure that our economy, my Jamaican people, can't sustain one stranger in our economy. What sense we have over 10,000 people deportee? We shall not know nothing about, and based on Marco Rubio argument, right? And Marco Rubio said him not shame about it, right? You have some pedophiles, you have some rapists, right? And all sort of, you know, we cannot tolerate that. And trust me, we don't want one of them land yaso. And so then we are going to galvanize as a people, right? We are going to make sure, right, that we hold this government accountable. And people, we want you to stay with the platform, them, you know, because these platforms that you see out there, and I don't big up Rattigan, just imagine Rattigan come on my show. Sometime, trust me, sometime the memory, you know it good people. Big up Rattigan. Rattigan is another excellent program which people need to tune in and stay tuned to, right? But may I tell you, right, as it relates to us processing the information for you, We will continue, right, to do that. And we will never, never, I can swear to you, my people, that Mystic Sensation will never, I will always at the front of the battlefield for my people, fighting for my people. And let me tell you something, people, for all those who believe that, John, nothing not go happen to him and Jones and them continue where blah blah. Let me tell you something. You see, Joe told me know what me know, and I'm confident in what I know. I mean, no say him have to pay for him wrongdoing. Right? Let me tell you something. My Jamaican people, every single time he come by here, so some people don't want me. Some people say, boy, me live for the man too much. But let me tell you something. Me not top live for him until him face justice, because I know what he had done the Jamaican people. The disrespect. And we are not going to allow him to get away with it. I mean, no, say, Andrew, you listen to me. I mean, I tell you plain to your face. You understand? No Big Mama can't save you. No Draws Davis can't save you. No Matthew Samuda can't save you. No Delroy Chuck can't save you. And no matter how you squeeze in the nasty one there. What name? Wagana the electoral office. Right? The facing nasty one there. Him can't help you. Right? Him can't help you. And as I say, my people, stay focused. Right? Together, we are strong. And I believe that here we fight today, we are going to see a better Jamaica tomorrow. But we need to continue the fight, increase the momentum, right? And support. And I want, in terms of me going, whenever Osborne hit that trumpet, sound that trumpet, every single social media warrior, every platform, right? They talk your mind, right? Boy, we don't go over talk your mind serious, you know, talk your mind ramming me, you know. You understand? Me don't know if me don't know what kind of sitting there. Me don't know what kind of thing we talk your mind have over the beat him, but boy, like what talk your mind have over the beat him. He heavy and sledge. Right? The other day I go over talk your mind and I laughed till my belly button drop out. Trust me, talk your mind over there, they done him. So, you know, tune in, right? Support the channels, right? And of course, together, we are going to do it. There's no one person can bring it. Any one person telling you that it is them alone, it is he or she alone can bring it. No one person can bring it, right? We all are working together in one accord, right, to have success. My followers, bless upon yourself, love you, and my Jamaican brothers and sisters, you understand, Mystic Sensation will always here, right, fighting for the cause. Big up on yourself, right? Have a safe travel on the gravel. We take with my wife thing, you know, so I have to say it now. A safe travel on the gravel. Bless upon yourself, big up on yourself, love you, 100%. All right.
10 years, you say. 10 long years and look how Jamaica stay. No light, no road, no food pan we plate. People are suffer while Andrew live great. Hey, hey. You stand up on the platform, smile wide and proud. I tell we about prosperity, but we can't see it all now. Hurricane come through and left the people bare. 6 months later, them still out asleep under the air. Their GLP friends them build high-rise, road still full of wood. A whose pocket do I feel while the nation lose its soul?